This program is intended for a mature audience. If you are not 18 years old, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem, as you have been warned. Do not try this at home.
Release the Kraken!
Because I am ready, and I will not let this opportunity slip through my fingers. Cup of coffee, man, yeah. Man! Wow, man!
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Oh, I am enjoying this.
Get on with it!
Penis?
Okay.
Usually it's the fuck word we try to get in first.
Penis.
Penis.
Okay, why aren't Andy... Oh, that's why.
You forgot to unmute people.
No, I did not forget to unmute people's. I forgot to change the preferences.
Ha ha. You fail. You're fired.
I am fired.
Fired.
Come on, Dave. Get it together.
Dare.
China.
Yeah, please. China's the first word that the fucking
China.
listeners hear.
China.
China.
Penis.
All right, guys. Welcome to Bad Habits Network. This episode is brought to you in part by IdealVaporLLC.com. Use the code BHN 20% to get 20% off all your purchases on the internet with IdealVaporLLC.com. Also, check their store out in Portage, Wisconsin. Fantabulous store. Pool table, vape lounge, kiosk where you can sign up, support your local everything. Safada, Casa, every aspect of vaping rights that you can think of. Talk to Jim, talk to Jimmy Vapes, talk to Jim Bubbles Jim. There's like 3 people named Jim at that fucking place. I'm not kidding you, folks. Talk to Jackie. She'll tell you to fucking fuck off and hammer's fired. And just shoot the breeze with them. They're knowledgeable staff. They know a lot of good shit about a lot of good things. Again, IdealVaporLLC.com, Portage, Wisconsin. Also on Facebook, hashtag IdealVaporFamily. This episode is also brought to you by UndauntedJewelry.com. Use the code BHN, guess what? BHN20 for 20% off all your purchases at checkout. And that is some high-quality fucking jewelry, folks. It is big, bulky, and beautiful. Necklaces, watches, as well as rings. It's kind of their primary thing right there. I'm rocking a Lucky 13 ring soon. As soon as it comes into the studio, I will be pimping the shit out of that one hardcore. So, guys, again, that's UndauntedJewelry.com. Use the code BHN20. Let them know that you're showing some love by showing us some love. Welcome to the show. I can open my eyes now. All the commercials are done. I don't have to concentrate while people are trying to fuck with me.
What? Nobody would fuck with you.
Yeah, okay.
Strawberry jelly.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
I'm not touching you.
I'm not touching you.
Don't make me pull this studio over.
With us today on the Bad Habits Network side is the shitbox extraordinaire aficionado Tripper or Trip Popper, however drunk you are while talking to him.
Depends if you'll get an ass tattoo or not.
Shut up. And also our HR representative here.
I don't know who decided that, but that was probably a poor life choice.
I know.
It was a unanimous vote.
It's the Kodai.
You were voluntold.
Coming at you straight with a coat hanger is our HR, Cody.
Yes. Wait, my thingy's gone. Who took it down?
Okay, here we go with the fucking ADHD squirrels.
Squirrel.
With us on the hooch-brand side, again, hooch-brand clothing. There's going to be a link in the description of where you guys can check that shit out. Also on Facebook, it's hooch-brand. Fuck your goddamn couch. Thrive or die. Fantastic clothing line. Andy Sappenkoff.
Hey, he learned my last name.
I also did, and I also learned Lucas Story, who is also in the room with us today.
How's it going?
And Remy Remdog.
Yes, sir.
Don't want to give his last name. He didn't give me permission.
You can. It's fine.
What is it?
Zanotto.
That's neat.
Even though I look very non-Italian.
I was going to say, you got the cherub Italian down, but nothing else, man.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit. My girlfriend says it's not a good. It's a very interesting look when someone asks, "Oh, is your boyfriend Italian?" I'm like, he is technically
by name.
by name only.
So we were talking about creativity a couple times on a live feed. What?
And creativity, it took me 40 fucking minutes to make that thing. Where'd it go?
Fuck. Just because you want to choke a bitch. Here we go. The argument, the brother and the sibling rivalry is happening.
It's a
now.
legitimate question.
I don't know.
It took me. Who took it down?
We have kittens. Maybe they jumped up and got it.
Fuck knows, bud.
Bruh.
It gone.
It go.
It's bullshit.
There you go.
So, little backstory for you guys. hooch-brand was doing a live video feed on Facebook, just doing a sounder of things to come and shit. And all of a sudden, we started getting on a creative aspect, and then take it from there, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, we got to a point where I've actually been talking to a few individuals in the creative community, whether it be music, art, clothing. And one of the things that doesn't get talked about a lot of the time is the mental struggle or something in your past or something that's happened to you that causes you to be more creative because it's a driven force inside of you. Like we've talked about it, a 1,000 times. You want to wake up in the morning, whether it's with a smile on your face or tears in your eyes.
Those are happy tears.
Sometimes.
Right. Sometimes. And that's like really where it stems from. And I wanted this to kind of be an open forum for that discussion. Because not a lot of people feel like they have a voice or can talk to somebody. I've been mentoring a younger gentleman as of recent, and I've seen a lot of progress in him, and that's because of speaking from only my experience, not from anybody else's. And a lot of the times I tend to do that. I use other people as an example to describe something I'm going through when I can just pull something that's hard for me to talk about, but pulling that out and talking about it is me facing my fear, which builds mental toughness. And that's been a really important topic in my life. So I kind of wanted to like open the floor for discussion about that tonight. And obviously we're going to go off on wacky tangents, throughout the discussion. I expect it already.
Part of the show.
Right. But I wanted to bring Remy and Lucas on with me because not only are they a huge part of helping me with my mental toughness and keeping me fucking together, but they also have experience themselves in different departments, different forms of creativity. And they also have different experiences in their life that I feel are valid that can be shared if they want to. Again, that's the open forum. But I kind of wanted to start the discussion with a book that I started reading. It's an audiobook, but I'm doing it with my exercise because one of the things that was told to me early on in my physical activity career was instead of listening to music, because music is an easy way out because it's a distraction during your physical activity, the best thing that you can do for yourself, like mentally, is listen to an audiobook and somebody speaking and teaching you some information. And I wanted to learn about how to be mentally tougher because at this point in my life, I can fully admit to the public that I'm mentally weak. And that comes from a lot of stuff prior, which will be talked about tonight. I'm coming to the floor as an open book and sharing my experience.
Okay.
So the one thing that kind of stood out to me was it's a guy by the name of David Goggins. He's very, very familiar to the public. He is I think it was the 36th African-American Navy SEAL in the entire world, which is an incredible feat. Not only is it an incredible feat, it's also where he came from, his childhood, his upbringing, being overweight and having a small amount of time to make the Navy SEALs and passing and then surpassing a whole bunch of other shit. But
I was going to say, you want me to give the quick wiki rundown on him?
Yeah, in a minute.
Okay.
I just want to bring up this topic and then we can go over his past and like give people an idea of who he is. But one of the things that kind of stood out to me at the beginning of his book, and it was actually in the introduction, was that motivation is not what everybody thinks.
Neither is your microphone.
Really?
Ah, there it is.
Back.
You're back.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Maybe it was the hand positioning, like beside my my laptop. But one of the things is that motivation is kind of like an easy cop out for people, because if you think about like getting a pep talk from somebody, that's a semi-permanent fix, because that just puts you in a happy mood for the moment. But it's not fixing what the actual issue is.
Nope.
Whereas if you are driven because of the hate or the pain that you're going through, that means you are fighting and you have an objective to fight for yourself.
Yes, of course.
So now we can go over David Goggins, because I want people to understand like where the guy comes from.
All right, announcer time. David Goggins, he's an American ultra-marathon runner, ultra-distance cyclist, triathlete, motivational speaker, and author. He's retired U.S. Navy SEAL and former U.S. Air Force TAC-P. And he served in the Iraq War, and his self-help memoir, Can't Hurt Me, was in 2018. And also, fun fact, folks, to get into the military, this guy had to drop at least $1.5 billion. He was quite overweight, and that's a lot of what his Can't Hurt Me book is about.
In
3 bills.
3 months.
Yeah, in 3 months.
3 months.
Damn.
That's not healthy.
It's fine.
It's fine. He's young. He snapped back.
It's not. But the thing is sometimes these unhealthy situations for individuals in his situation are good. So
a lot of character building.
Using my example, right? So I come from a very like loving home. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am never going to say a bad word about my parents, because they are wonderful people. They took me in from birth, adoption. We've already gone over that.
Right.
And they raised me correctly, because I am a genuine, well-spoken person to everybody. But what that comes with is I never saw like hard times like a lot of people. So I wasn't bred to deal with hard times. And lately, for me, all of the things that I'm doing are very overwhelming at times, and I get knocked off the rails, and I lose my composure.
At work, we call that sheltered.
Right, exactly, 100%.
Lucas just says, I need more caffeine.
But coming from that point and having these hard times and like really having to fend for my own and separate from my family, not in a bad way, because I talk to my mother on a frequent basis. I catch up with my family. I make sure everybody's okay. But I have to learn that in order to be able to deal with this, I have to face it. Yep. I have to hit it head on. And I can't just sit back and like hide behind a bunch of other shit and tell people I'm okay. Because if I'm not okay, people need to know that shit.
Yep.
Like, especially these two, because they're with me on this journey of a high risk situation. It's always going to be high risk being an entrepreneur and doing what we're doing.
Especially saying the word is hard.
Yes.
Yes.
Entrepreneur.
Not as bad as Worcestershire.
The cool thing is that when you have people around you, even if it's in a small group, that just tell you how it is and then guide you, give you guidance through that, then you're going to be okay. Because all the things that go on up here, that's the shittiest part. The mind is always going to have a step up.
For those of you listening at home, he's pointing at his head.
But it's always going to have a step up on us.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always going to know that, like, when somebody comes to you and says, oh, you're a problem, your automatic reaction is going to be, oh, shit, I'm a problem. So now the self-worth shit starts happening. You start going on this derailed train of thought, and you have no way of bringing yourself out of it, and then you automatically assume what the other person is going to say to you, and then the conversation's over.
Well, there's that reaction, and then there's also the, no, you're the fucking problem reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Exactly.
I don't have a problem. It's not a problem to me.
I told you not to come in my room while I'm cleaning, Mom.
My turn on the Xbox isn't over.
Quit betraying me.
Minecraft.
But like for me, I think where we can excel is like the creative department. If you look at other artists, most of them are really messed up. 100%.
Yeah, I think comedian Bill. Shit! It was featured on the Tool album. Cannot remember the guy's name. He died of pancreatic cancer. And that's a hard word for me to say too. Pancreatic cancer, and he was like, take all that music you love and all the things that have enriched your lives, and realize one thing: all those artists really fucked up on drugs when they wrote that.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of that.
A lot of those guys were taken early because of those issues. And a lot of the times have changed now. There's a lot more help and a lot more people willing to speak their minds about their issues and talk about it. But I also feel a lot of the way people talk about their issues is not a cry for help. It's a cry for attention.
Right.
And there's other ways to get people's attention, like turning to the person closest to you and saying, hey man, this is like what's going on. I just need 5 minutes of your time. Just shut the fuck up and just listen to what I have to say.
And that's sometimes the hardest thing for a person to do.
There's a difference between getting the help and playing the card. You can't use it as a victim card and expect to get better from it. You actually have to put in the work.
Yep, and some people actually won't put in the work because being broken gets them more attention.
Well, it's not easy. When it's all it's not the easiest thing to take that step and go, I'm going to completely change everything I've ever known and go for it.
Yeah, the problem with that is too much too soon. That's what a lot of people fail to realize. If you do it like quitting cigarettes cold turkey, it's going to be really fucking difficult. I mean, you can't just be like, I'm a negative person. I'm going to flip a switch. God damn it, I need more coffee. Flip a switch and just be happy. No, it's not like that. Not a lot of people can do that. Some people can put on fucking yellow frames and play Call of Duty for fucking 12 hours. Other people have to fucking ease their way into that shit. And no, Lucas, I'm not actually picking on you for your glasses. That was actually the fucking bit I was going with because of one of our members.
Like Lucas, for example, when you were first starting to learn how to sing, because you're like a proficient vocalist.
Oh, what's the name of the band? What's the name of the band?
The name of my band is called Fire Said the Albatross, and we actually have a new song coming out next Friday or this Friday. It's one of the two.
I'm freaking excited.
Hell yeah.
It'll be cool. It'll be fun.
But I got to know Lucas more and more as time went on, and I found out he's a very, very proficient and professional vocalist. He can go from opera to theater to crooner stuff to
I like him. I like him already.
Yeah,
I was trained in opera.
It's super talented, but
that's what I went to school for.
Yep, same. Well, kind of. Parents couldn't afford it.
And then I switched to political science, and then I left.
I can understand why. Poli-sci.
I just couldn't get my head that far up my ass, so I called it a day.
I started to see the tip of my liver, and I said, done.
I saw the small intestines, and I was like, no, that's not a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is worse than the cheap toilet paper.
It's good to an extent to know what you're talking about, but just doing that, you section yourself off to having specific types of beliefs, and I don't think that's the correct way to do it. I think
that's
you
better.
Should be able to have an open mind to a lot of things and hear people out. While they might always not be right or they might always not be wrong, that's up to the conversation, but yeah.
And you have to remember to meet people where they are in anything.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Remy, so a question that I had for you, that I wanted to ask. You've been the silent.
Fuck that conversation.
Two things happened that made me giggle on that one. Fuck that
is
conversation and Remy just staring blankly at the screen. And Remy, snap. What?
Oh, that's my name.
No, I want Remy in on this discussion. Like, like when you have hard times, like when you go into your creative process, how does that affect you?
Well, as more of a like in terms of working through the hard times, or like
working through the hard times, but also the way you react to people. Like if you're working with somebody, like maybe a client, or how does that affect your reaction? Like when you're going through those tougher times and trying to be creative versus like the easier times, which are very few and far between most of the time, especially being a creative person.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see a change in yourself, or how does it help you through that, or how does that work for you?
A lot of the time it makes me a little bit more impatient with myself and clients, and it takes a bit of like, say, grounding in a way, like of going through it, trying to like remove myself from the situation, be like, okay, it's not like my emotions shouldn't affect this. That's like a main part of like snapping out of it and getting back, because how I work when I'm like full on my worst, like anxiety wise or whatever the heck's going on, if I'm stressed, especially recently, I've been like, there's just like a lot of stuff having to figure out, moving, graduating, like all that stuff is getting stressful, so I have to like remove myself from it and jump back in, because I do my best work when I'm like clear-minded, but it also makes me more motivated, like in a way to like jump in, because for the past, I'd say about 5 or 6 years, I've been working in video, working in photo, and like in high school I started working on videos, and I just thought it was so much fun. It gave me an outlet to reach out to my friends a lot more and hang out with them, but also like create like a tangible thing we could look back on, and then working on using it as my work and also a main way to meet people here in St. Catharines, since I moved to a different country right out of high school and to a place where no one I knew. Yeah, I saw the jump back there.
My apologies. I didn't mean to seem so shocked. I was just kind of like, I'm like, oh, where comparing notes.
Yeah, I'm from Crested Butte, Colorado, like middle of nowhere, Colorado, and then I moved out here to St. Catharines, Ontario, to go to school.
Oh,
so
wow!
Completely
Crested
across the country. Crested Butte, a little tiny town of 1,000, moved to a town of 18,000, which is still a massive jump for me, even though it's not like Toronto and like millions of people, but like still massive compared. And like having to meet people, I joined Brock TV here, which is the company, one of the companies I'm working for right now. Been with them for nearly 5 years altogether, 4 years paid, and like joined up with them, and they really taught me a lot, and that's how I mainly got my start. But like through that, putting my nose to the grindstone kind of just like helped me overcome a lot of things. So that came with a lot of that helped me like learn a bunch of these strategies, because like I don't think I work better when I'm stressed or anxious, and I'd also hypercritical of myself at those times, so that's probably why.
Yes.
But
that's normal.
like I don't have to worry about it. Like now it's just like I understand, like it's what I love to do. So I just whenever I get to it, or there's like a video project like coming up, I got a pretty fun video project working with basketball footage from last year, creating kind of like a Last Dance kind of ESPN 30 for 30 style video. And like that gets my heart pumping, that gets me excited, that gets me so fired up to work on something like that, and that pulls me away from, say, like the stress of right now. So yeah, my take on it.
I like that.
I don't think I'd ever know if I was clear-minded.
It's not ever full. It's like because and the way I've been taught about it through talks with like doctors, therapists, just like talking about it, because I'd like to understand like what's happening with my head and like why I think certain ways. But
dare I say, mad scientist style.
Have you ever taken the Myers-Briggs personality test?
I've heard about it.
16personalities.com. It's the most accurate personality assessment on the market. The full-length one you have to pay for, but this one is free. It's a condensed version, but it's still accurate. It will tell you everything about your personality.
That scares me moderately.
It will tell you how you think. It will tell you why you think that way. It will tell you what's important to you, what's not important to you. It does tend to creep people out, but it's definitely worth the try.
You know what? I'll put this on the table. I'll say we could have a hooch group call and sit and take the personality test together and then learn some shit.
I'm the campaigner.
That's the personality profile she fits under.
ENFP.
Plus or minus?
I'm turbulent.
Turbulent. Sorry, tier. Yeah.
I am all the turbulent.
You are 97% turbulent. That is the highest turbulence I've ever seen.
And you work in mental health.
With teenagers.
I win.
The average turbulent I think that I see out of them is between 40-something and 70-something, and my boyfriend is 97% turbulent.
I heard the I win. I wonder if it's like if your score means better, or is it closer to like golf where the lowest score wins?
I think the lowest score is supposed to technically win that one.
The highest score.
No.
Depends on
the win is being assertive, not turbulent. So after your 4 letters, you'll be either a -A or a -T, and then when you scroll down, it'll tell you the percentages.
All I heard was
a wild card in my house.
I get the high score.
When I took mine, I believe, if I remember right, I took it like maybe a year ago, but I got the Virtuoso the first time. So I'm curious what would happen if I were to take it again.
No,
it will change if you change. I've taken it and gotten like 6 different things.
And
that's just each personality.
I keep getting the same results.
That's all what we're talking about. You got to think about you take a test 10 years ago.
Yes.
And then you go through the decade of what you've been through. Your thoughts, perceptions, and answers to any question will always change.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yep.
That's what needs to be happening every time. Like, you need to start realizing things about yourself at that current time and then go back 5 years later, maybe even a year.
Yeah.
And look at the difference.
That's why we give these girls this test, because a lot of they're teen girls, and a lot of them come in and they don't know who they are. They'll tell you that. Genuinely, I don't know who I am. So our psychiatrist makes them take this and then goes over it with them. And he tells them, as you go, you'll probably change. But once you get to a certain age and you get, for lack of a better word, more set in your ways, it's less likely to change.
Gary.
I mean, Lucas is currently in a band. And, I
Wait,
know
what band's
what
he
it
in?
Feels like. Fire Said the Albatross.
Oh, okay.
Where can we find that?
Where is he also connected to like a clothing company or something?
Yeah, of course. hooch-brand.
Hey.
All day, baby.
Contractual obligations done.
There's more plugs in this show than a Best Buy.
Have to.
Yeah,
we run on sponsors.
IdealVapor.LLC.com.
If you want
Sponsors
to put it in Tripper's terms, there's more plugs in here than a Vegas strip club.
Yeah.
More plugs in here than my bad uncle's toupee.
Oh, God.
More plugs in here than Donald Trump.
Oh!
There's more plugs in here than a ice hockey beer league bench.
Boy, I tell you what, if we had any more plugs in here, we'd have a bucket. I don't know.
Bucket.
Busket.
But
a musket busket.
Like with being in a band, that camaraderie, like Lucas, I know, like, having, it's like that family, like, you don't always have to like your family, but you love your family all at the same time.
Blood is what makes you family. Loyalty is what makes you really my family. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer of blood versus choice in this case. Bad Habits Network is my chosen family, and the family I'm blood related to. Yeah, they're there.
I mean, the greatest part about, like the relationship that Remy, Lucas, and I have is that I get camaraderie that I've been looking for in the wrong places. And that's been, like, in all the bands I've ever been in. Any of the members that I've dealt with have been toxic people for me. They've never been good.
Oh, quit going to
but
those
I
steam
always,
houses.
Yeah, you know.
Stay out of the steam houses, Andy. Jesus.
I can't stay out of Planet Fitness. What?
Isn't that the whole state?
Yeah, folks.
All of the state of Florida is Planet Fitness?
No,
it's
a
steam house.
Oh, I was about to say, have you seen people from Florida? I don't think they know what a Planet Fitness is.
Or do they? Because at Planet Fatness, they have pizza day.
What? I'm joining.
You know what? They may have pizza day, but they have equipment I don't have at my house, and it's cheap. So I'm all day about it.
Okay,
you know?
not gonna argue fitness.
I get to people watch all day, dude. The stuff that goes on at Planet Fitness, it is great.
That's why I quit. That's why I quit.
That's what the
there.
tennis shoe cam's for.
I mean, dude, I've seen people like dancing on treadmills. Like the videos you see online, I've seen it.
They're
Like,
probably
in
filming
the
themselves
flesh.
doing it too. Like, here, well, let's make a TikTok.
I'm gonna go Fosse on the treadmill.
But you know, the cool thing is that I realized that over the years, like searching for these people, what I was really lacking is just playing music with my brother because there's no pressure.
Lucas is playing
the
Galaga.
pressure-
He thought we weren't noticing, but we did.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to find an older picture of myself because we were talking about change, and I just don't ever look the way I do.
What?
I never want to look back at old photos of myself.
Like
I
feel
have no
like
choice.
I feel like I'm like consistently changing my physical appearance.
Well, I think that's also like us, right? We're like, even in the past like year, I think pandemic has changed. Like being in lockdown, being in quarantine has
Like
changed me.
This was 3 months ago. 3 months ago.
Okay, let's look at the chat here. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Holy cow,
Yeah,
Drifter!
I remember that.
Jesus Christ, he's like
that's from your music video,
I
right?
don't know how to get to that.
He's like a
Wow.
scrubby twink. No
Dude,
offense,
I
dude.
would
No
see-
offense.
And then if we go to 6 months ago, it's like completely different person again.
Bam.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that one I don't even like.
So yeah, I don't
Recognize.
like, just to tie it back into the conversation, it's like we're not only changing like mentally, but we're consistently changing physically, which I think is
Well, what's that old saying? What changes on the inside comes to the outside, eventually.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the rooms, you heard that a lot. Like, just because you look good on the outside, don't mean you look good on the inside. You know, like a lot of people, when they go through these hard times, they feel like buying stuff that's outside of their limits just to fit in with a certain status is
Keep it
the
up
way
with the
to go
Joneses.
about things.
I was gonna say if
Yeah,
people.
and like for me, my vanity came from how much I cared about the way I looked, and like it didn't match up with what was on the inside. So like my biggest thing was
Fine.
take the hair away, because the hair took up hours out where I could be putting it towards like working on myself. And like, dude, the minute I went bald, like the minute this happened, all vanity went out the window because I had nothing to look at anymore.
Unfortunately,
it was physical.
Fortunately for you, you can grow yours back. I had no choice. I had to just.
I
make sure.
don't want to.
It's not worth
I
it.
don't want
I tried.
I
can confirm.
It's at this point where it's just my realization that like, as long as I realize that I don't have like this elongated time, like everybody wants to tell me, like, oh, you have plenty of time to do this. I think that statement is absolute bullshit.
Yes, I
Like,
agree.
I don't have time. I have the allotted amount of time, which I don't know when that's going to be. Like, I know when it started, but the minute you take your first breath, you accepted death. That's how I view things now.
Okay.
And I'm okay with it because I know what I'm doing right now is relevant to me, and I'm happy for once.
Okay.
For once, I have like what everybody searches for, which is like the true happiness, and it's not that cookie cutter white picket fence shit that everybody talks about. you know, but it's funny because I have a white picket fence. I have 2 of those motherfuckers outside of my house. But at the end of the day, it's not about the house being the status. It's the fact that I worked hard enough and pushed hard enough through all the stress to be able to be here and like be in the position that I'm at. And that's finding Lucas and I needed to have a business friendship and like further on. And then the same thing with Remy. Yes.
Cody.
Because I'm in mental health, I have to point this out. Your vernacular is incorrect, sir. You are content.
What's the difference?
Now
what
here's
is the difference
thing.
between...
Because happy is an extreme.
Okay.
And happy is not sustainable, but content is. And that's why so many people are unhappy and miserable, because they're striving for this extreme. And the average emotion in the average person only lasts 90 seconds.
They're chasing the
and
high.
then you're on to another one. You're chasing a high
True.
that you can't achieve. What you need to shoot for is content, because most people don't even know what that is.
True, because they're too focused on the extreme. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, thank you for changing my perspective yet again. Like, that's a change that I need to make, because me being completely happy is an unrealistic expectation.
Anyone being completely happy is unrealistic. And if it were realistic, we wouldn't appreciate it.
Of course, like for me, like this morning is a perfect example. And like this is pushing me through the rest of the week, which a lot of stuff is like, it's not planned to get done, it's going to get done. You know, because that's the driven force that I have. But this morning, I was like, you know what? You know, I'm hurting. I've had this headache for 5 days. I can't get rid of it. Like, could not get rid of it. But then I realized what I had done for the past 5 days, and that's nothing.
Not smoked weed.
Like,
oh, sorry, that was me. Sorry.
No. Like I did that to try to get rid of the headache, because that's my usual solution. I drank more water.
Right.
Like I took Advil, like I don't like to, because it messes with my stomach. But I was trying to find the instant gratification.
Okay.
So this morning, when I was feeling at my lowest, I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, dude, I feel like a train wreck, and I'm like done with this feeling. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So I was like, you know what? I just need to go in the bedroom, you know, like in the other room in the office, and like stretch out, do some yoga. Well, then that led to me listening to the audiobook this morning, and I got to like my mile point of my run. And my illogical brain was telling me, oh, dude, you're done. You've done your mile for the day. Like, that's it. I did 1 3/4 miles today. Because I said, fuck that. You know, I didn't want to feel. So guess what? What's gone? The headache.
So what started your not doing anything?
I mean, realistically, it was the personal situation I'm going through with the people I work with.
Oh, so you sat in it too long.
I've been sitting in the emotional portion and the emotional thinking side of things. But what I've been doing different in that is opening up and saying it immediately to my partner.
Good.
And saying, hey, this is making me mad and I want to do this. Like, these are my illogical thoughts. Mm-hmm. Because I know that she will immediately stop me dead in my tracks, tell me take a minute to think about it, and then guide me down the right path of what I should do, because it's going to make me content. And that allowed me to get outside myself, which Remy and Lucas also helped me, because, you know, like I could pull the owner card all day, but I know that's not going to go over with them too. I know I need help with what I'm doing. Usually, I just want to do it by myself. You know, and that's my ego, 100%, because I don't want anybody involved in it, because all I think is people are just going to hurt, take, you know, and not give me anything back. And that just comes from personal experience. But I know from doing the right thing and, you know, coming out and saying, Lucas, I'm kind of like dead in the water here and I need some help. You know, I got outside myself and asked another individual, and it was the best decision I ever made. Same thing with Remy. We started on an interview basis. Like, he came to the table straight up like an interview. But the cool thing about it is through the conversation, we learned a lot about each other. Because for once, I shut the fuck up and let another individual talk.
Go you.
That's not easy to do.
Nope.
But that's the exciting part, because now when I think about my company, I'm not so stressed out. And Remy, this is kind of like what I wanted to like give to you, is that like I have the same thought process. And that's why I asked that question. Because like when I get in like my shit box, there you go. There you go, Trevor. When I get my shit box, I don't want to work. Because I just feel like nothing good is going to come out of it, because I'm just going to emotionally just beat the drawing up, or I'm going to, you know, just get frustrated with it and quit, you know, and do all these illogical things. But what I've been finding is that I'm content with the fact that we are now at a point where I'm sending emails to a printer about production. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, that's like... I'm not sitting here because, like, I'm looking at it now is when I started this venture, I didn't even know if anything was going to be printed. And Lucas is wearing a hat. I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing a hoodie. And I have pants. They exist. They're real things. It's like writing, you know, like in your profession, writing things down on paper for people most of the time is the best thing that people need to do, because once you put it on paper, it's actually real now. It's a tangible object. And then you can look at that tangible object and go, that's fucking real. Mm-hmm. Fuck me. That's not easy.
Nope.
And, like, I find the things that break you make you.
Yep. You have two choices.
And Lucas, like, if you wanna chime in and talk a little bit about that kind of stuff, like maybe from the band demeanor, or like even personally what you're going through right now, like you were working a great job and like it was really a lot of fun. And I love seeing the light in your eyes when like the shop was doing really well.
Yeah.
You know? But things changed and you have to struggle now.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a struggle. Like, I could definitely opt to do something different. I just wouldn't be making the money that I am making now. So it's just decisions, and I'd rather have the ability to have these funds and just use them as a tool, because that's all it is. Money is expendable. Like, if somebody needs help, I'm going to help them, obviously, like for you, for example, or for Rem, for example. So by doing that, I have that, but it means I have sand all over my body all day, every day. So obviously there are sacrifices when you pick and choose things, but that's part of life that you have to realize. So.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the cool thing. I think all of us come from a very similar place, and that's like being unaccepted.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think we fit so well into the vape community, you know, because everybody who's in that community is like that. We're all kind of like, yeah.
This entire network was outcasts in high school.
Even that cat.
Even the kitty.
I didn't see it on yours.
Outcast pussy.
Oh, your pussy came home.
Yes.
Okay. His pussy was missing
It was like
yesterday.
a day. I mean,
It was 24 hours.
Cat's been gone.
But
longer
I think that's such the cool thing, because like look at all the tools that we could have used back when we were going through all these things.
Back?
You know. Well, I mean, like I'm turning 35 this year. It's not like I'm saying like we're, you know, like extremely old and back in the day, which was a Tuesday, by the way, you know, like that kind of hearsay shit. But like, I view like even 5 years as a long period. It's just based upon what happened during that elongated amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, we joke around and say time is a flat surface, man. Like it's a funny joke, but realistically, it's just this road, like this flat road of just the same things popping up. You know, it's like driving a car in on the highway. You know, like anything can happen at
It's
any
like
point.
Nebraska.
You just need to know how to like correct and react to those situations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I'm trying to learn through other people's experiences because I've only gone through what I've gone through. You know, and unfortunately, like I hear a lot of you know, like my friends talk of like I didn't have a great life. I grew up with like terrible parents, and like I sought that out to learn about that because I didn't know what that was like.
I mean, for me at least, like I would say my life was pretty solid. I mean, we were white people living in a middle class neighborhood, and I get to go to a nice school for a time being, or for an extended period of time, and I went to a nice high school. And like I think the worst thing that could have happened to me was my parents separated when I was in middle school, but that was not too hard on me. It was a lot harder on my brother than it was on me. So I mean, I can't complain too much. I know there are a lot of people who have had it harder than me, so it's just recognizing that people grow up in different ways and they have different struggles, and you have to learn to perceive that you have some sort of privilege in these situations just to have such a good life, you know? Because
It's nice to appreciate it. It's nice to appreciate it, but actually you don't. You don't have to accept that you have privilege. And it doesn't matter what you just invalidated your experience. Do you realize that?
How so?
I did not.
He just said, I know a lot of people had it worse than me. So?
And that's what
Okay.
I wanted to
That
bring
came
up.
across
I
a
don't
little
think-
bitchy.
No,
The frame of reference there is
No.
what's terrible to you,
She-
and a 10 on the scale of horrible is not going to be the same 10 as someone else, but it
Yeah,
doesn't make
and
your
that's-
10 any less of a 10.
Yeah. And that is exactly what I'm getting at.
A 10-inch crank is a 10-inch crank.
Right. A
Whether
2-inch
it's
crank
curved
is
or straight or whatever. It's
A
it's
crank
all the
is a
same.
crank. A life is a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, like
a traumatic
for
event to
me,
you is still
like,
a traumatic
when
event.
For me, now when I approach a conversation with somebody that comes at me like that, I say, well, look, let me tell you like my experience so that I can shed some light on the other side of the world to let you know that like nobody's problem is worse than the others. Like
right.
I'm mentally an infant when it comes to dealing with things. And I've realized that I can fully wholeheartedly admit that I'm mentally like a child when it comes to dealing with hard situations and real shit and like hard times.
Yes.
But by me willing to admit that to another individual that goes through what we call a worse situation, which is still the same 10 in the real world, it kind of like helps people deal with it because then they don't have to view the other side as having the privilege that everybody likes to talk about. Like, yeah, well, I admit to another individual, if they want to say I have white privilege, yes. My skin color is white, and I grew up in a great home with parents that it didn't matter what I did. They were going to make sure I was safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if that's what you consider privilege, I will fully, wholeheartedly admit to come to your side and let you know, okay, now we're on a level playing field.
And I will,
And
and in my perspective, I say that that's actually a weakness. Not, and you said it yourself, because you are mentally not, you are just now learning how to deal with shit when it gets hard. So, like, it's not invalidating your experience. It's not anything like that. It's literally saying, it's literally proving my point. There's a bad side to that. And the bad side to that is it doesn't accurately prepare you for what you're going to have to deal with when you decide to go out there on your own.
Your shovel's not as big.
Yeah, your shovel's not as big, legitimately.
Go ahead, Remy. What were you going to say?
I think it was, well, what Lucas was talking about. He's like, I think like even my situation is a lot more like I grew up in a small white town with 1,000 people, and I think it all like it's interesting how that type of situation can lead you to like look at other people's lives, and like you can either take it as like these people need to work harder. They need to pick themselves up by the bootstraps. Like you need there's a ton of like you think that your parents worked super hard for you to have this life or this such and such. Like there's a lot of like, oh, they just need to be better. Or the other side, like where I come from, there's a lot of empathy and like being able to connect to that is being like, my life, I understand it was easy. Like for me, a lot, like sure things sucked at some points, but like the overall like grand scheme of things, my life isn't easy to say, to boil it down to an easy word, to just like a simple word. But I think having that view on it makes me like appreciate, like in a way of what I had. I will never fully appreciate the life that I had growing up. I will never fully appreciate what my parents did for me. Like I love them to death. They have always been like, I got lucky with my parents. I will always say that.
Could we put it into a simplistic joke from a movie, Tripper? Do you think?
Sure. Let's hear it.
Which one?
Where have you been living? Under a rock? No, Utah. Oh.
Oh. Sorry.
The empathy part. It's okay. Oh.
Yeah. It's like connecting to that. Because like, especially the summer we had last year. Oh my Lord. I like it. Okay. I'm not going to say it opened up my eyes. I obviously knew a lot about, or a good amount about like what type of injustices were happening and what I believed in. But I think my empathy of that made me a little bit more vocal against people who weren't so empathetic. I think that's like an interesting like thing that can happen where you'd probably take a first look at me, at my life. Like if you were to read a list of stats on like what my life was, you'd be like, that kid is a certain type of mentality.
The wiki page.
A very brief wiki page of it. You're like, that kid has these certain views. This kid believes this, but like it goes like most of the ways complete opposite. Like in a way of just like there's just a lot of empathy in my life. Like I got very lucky with good friends. I've had the same best friends for about 14 years.
That's awesome.
So
man.
like having to like being with that, I got super lucky, but also like moving here, like even like opening up my eyes to different parts of the world and seeing like the kind of stuff that has gone on. And I think I got very lucky moving to Canada because say I went to like a college in Colorado, I might not have met people from India, Nigeria, England.
I can relate to this.
I've met so many different people from so many different cultures and so many different walks of life. Like some from like dad owned like the golf course in the middle of nowhere, Ontario, to a guy who came here through a international scholarship that he had to work his ass off for. Like or people who have had to go through terrible situations in their lives to get to where they are. And I got so lucky with that. And like seeing like their experiences, and it doesn't make me feel worse about mine or feel like I haven't done much or have had to go. It just makes me very more empathetic to what they're saying. And I think that's like a unique thing that can come from that type of like privilege. Is it's not always you're not always going to get the guy screaming at a Proud Boys rally. You're gonna get like a pretty good mix of people who actually care about others. So
a level-headed,
me,
open-mindedness. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like one of the realizations that I came to recently that has really changed my perspective on my family, because I had attached an emotion to a certain individual, which was my grandfather. Because like I didn't understand like what my dad did at all. Like market research to me was like a whole completely like foreign concept. And I didn't really understand it, why he had to travel so much either. That was a big thing, was the traveling and, him having to go places and not necessarily being there during situations where you need your dad. And then I attached to my grandfather because he was always there. And then when he passed away, I felt like I lost my father. And the hardest thing for me to admit was that I needed to fully move on and just realize, like, my grandfather was a very important person in my life. He's a very big driving force in my life. And what I do is very encompassed by a lot of his teachings and his ideals, and like a lot of is based off of him. But it's now gained a certain respect for my father, because the guy just is turning 69 in March, and he just retired this year. And for me, I can't not respect that.
Right.
He's my dad. And, you know, and that's what I had to like step outside myself and say, look, he's still my dad. Like, and I have to continually just like contact him and be like, look, we haven't always been on the same page. You know, there's been some tension, but I'm willing to admit that's my fault. And a lot of that privilege aspect has encompassed into the way I treat my privileged family. Because I wasn't the kid that, you know, like I have a few friends from my childhood, but most of them were toxic people. So I cut them off. So I don't have that benefit of having like these long-term relationships with friends, that stay in my life. You know, the one friend that I've known the longest kicked me out of the band, you know, so that was a hard separation where I'm still dealing with the emotions of it and learning how to deal with that and learning the right and wrong things to do in this situation. And I'm willing to admit that. But at the end of the day, what I'm learning is that the few people that I have around me make me content, so that should be enough.
Quality, not quantity.
And a lot of what's been helping me with that is like the quality of the new people that I've been able to bring into my life because I cut the other ones out.
Yep. You can't get that unless you do, because you have to make room for them.
It's growing from it. Like, the thing was, like, maybe like back then, I mean, I've had this happen. You don't realize that someone wasn't great for you. And then it takes a while. Sometimes it also takes people telling you right to your face and you still don't believe it, like I did, because I'm in denial half the time in my life. But it's like eventually, like, no matter what, even no matter how long it takes, you still grow from it, and you get those better people in your life.
Some people can't. Some people don't know they're. Some people can't smell the shit they're in because they're used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, Gary, like, you helped, like, being a part of this family and, like, the honesty and the open and, like, the not give a fuck attitude, because, like, at the end of the day, you know, you have the best interest of whether it's yourself or the other person you're talking to in mind, because it comes from a place of love. It's not a place of malice. But I had to, like, my friend of, I'm going to say 25 years, approached me the other day and asked me why we don't talk. And the only thing that came to mind was this: you got me kicked out of my apartment, you know, 12 years ago. And ever since then, I haven't been able to trust you. And being able to say that, because for so long, I denied myself that ability to tell him the truth.
There's a real value in directness. And I used to be a very tactful person, very tactful. And I've just given less a shit the older I get. And at work, the girls that I work with, 90% of the destructive behaviors that they have come from shame. And it is so easy to shame them without even trying. I am the person that's probably going to do that unintentionally. One of the girls there, you've heard how I talk. And I just looked at her and I was like, well, actually, no, we're not supposed to do that. Blah, 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 blah. This is why. And I said it in that tone. And she started crying and goes, oh my God, why are you yelling at me? And I'm like, oh my.
Like, listen here, if I was yelling, everyone would know about it.
I looked at her and I said, first of all, I apologize. Second of all, I assure you I'm not yelling at you. And we went and we talked, and she just left last week, and she told me, I appreciate your directness so much. They all say it. I'm like the one that makes my coworkers go.
I'm the one that sits in HR a lot for that reason, too.
Yes. My coworkers look at me and they're like, but then the girls are like, I appreciate you. I know I can believe what you're telling me. So, I mean
that's what I get from that's what I get from Lucas all the time. He's very direct with me when it comes to making decisions. Mm-hmm. And it's really helpful because that's a useful tool.
To be fair,
with a mustache like that, you have to be direct.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. He's Stash Thrasher 9000. You know what I'm saying?
Stash Thrasher 9000 don't play no games.
Right.
Gator don't take no shit.
Honey Badger don't take no shit.
Honey Badger don't give a fuck.
So, like, the cool thing about that is because it allows me to step outside myself and take direction from another individual with a different perspective. And, like, that's why I'm excited about Remy. Remy's got this, like, backwards way of being sarcastic where it makes you realize, like, hey, there's this other world out here, but you're living in this stupid little bubble that you live in. Like, come see what my bubble's like.
Get out the box.
It's cold. His bubble is very cold. He's in Canada.
Canada.
Yes. I mean, Lucas's bubble is equally as cold. He's in Michigan, so.
Uh-oh. Hey, neighbors.
He definitely gets.
Howdy. I was just over there a couple months ago.
Oh, what city?
Milwaukee.
Oh, no shit.
Not far.
Yeah, not far. It's about an hour away from the studio.
Milwaukee, and then went up north through the UP, and then back down to Grand Rapids.
Hell yeah, good trip on the motorcycle in the summer for 1 month.
Yeah.
For the 1 month of summer we get up here.
Yeah, the one.
I used to go to Wisconsin every summer for most of my life.
That's where the boys live.
For the boys!
He was roughing it with us in Wisconsin.
Well, that was like, as I was saying, my best friends of 14 years are triplets. And we all went to the same summer camp up in northern Wisconsin for, like, I think 6-7 summers out of our lives, and it was 7.5 weeks.
Nice.
No phones, middle of nowhere, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's a good place to do that.
Fucking with people because I'm friends with triplets. In Wisconsin,
Dude,
it's easy.
I need a trip like that soon. Like that keeps popping up in my world is like people talking about going to like secluded place, no phones, and like just being in the present moment because like that's so hard for me to do.
I was gonna say hit us all up. Lucas and I and Cody and all of us could actually recommend some great spots in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure. I mean, sorry, Remy. I'm sure you can as well. You're in Canada. My apologies.
I just can't leave the country right now.
He's like, you want to rough it? Come to Canada.
We fought bears.
You want to talk about middle of nowhere?
You don't know real country until you see Canada.
My ex-husband always talks about his dad always took them hunting, and he always talks about going up to Canada. And my kids would bitch about, like, my daughter bitched the first time we took him camping, and he's like, you don't know anything. He was like, my father took us camping in Canada, and it was a 3-hour canoe ride, and my sister brought her curling iron. There's nothing to plug it into.
Oh my God. You need a generator for a curler.
Yep.
That's why
That's what we call clamping.
Yes. I'm so happy.
With the Winnebago. You got to get the
Winnebago.
I'll say this: I've had both sides, right? I've done both sides.
Phrasing.
I've never gone glamping.
So it's nice once in a while. Like my second set of parents, I consider them like a second family.
Glamping.
Let's just hear me out.
Glamour. Hold on. Gary was asking for clarification. It's glamping. It's glamorous camping.
Glorified
like
camping,
but worse.
That sounds horrible. When are we doing this?
Yesterday.
In middle suburbia.
So for me, it's not the glamping part because every time I've been glamping, I've slept in a tent, 100%. Like that's how I roll. you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I've only ever slept in a tent.
Hammock.
It's, for me, it's the experience that I get with my family when I go with them. And that's like the more important thing. Because like, I'm not a fishing person, but my dad is. You know, my second dad, he loves fishing. Like just sitting, you know, kicking back a couple, just throwing it in the Lake Charles down in South Carolina.
Right.
And we just sit there for hours and talk. You know, and it's that interaction with my dad where I do the most listening, because the guy, just like a lot of people, you know, he's a retired Navy chief.
Lucas has got a nice butt. Sorry, couldn't resist it.
He does.
No homo, but total homo.
He's, hey, dude, it's all good. All homo.
He's going to listen to the replay and figure out that motherfucker.
He's going to have no idea.
No, he's got headphones on.
Whatever.
He can't hear shit. Let's talk shit behind his back.
See, Lucas, he thinks he has, like, he always says he has the nicest house out of the friend group that plays video games.
Well, that's only because
he says that.
It's because every time he leaves a room, everyone says, "What an ass."
Dang, he's got a dunk.
So yes, anyways, glamping.
Glamping, yes.
So yeah, but the thing is that like hearing
heard everything you said.
that, like hearing the experience that my dad's gone through is like such a it's such a humbling moment, because it allows you to realize that like two different people on two different playing fields with two different ideals.
Quit talking shit about him. He's back.
I know. Fuck. Damn it. But like with the two different ideals, like I have to listen to him talk politics all the time because that's just his thing. And it boils my blood every time. Every time I gotta listen to it, boils. But it's the fact that that's what my dad is into. That's what he likes. That's what gives him some sort of contentness during his day, you know? So I hear him out. You know, because if he gets a chance to talk, he feels validated.
Right.
His feelings are real to him. Mm-hmm. You know, so I have to, again, like she said, meeting him where he's at. Mm-hmm. You know, like you were talking about, Remy, the injustices. Like, my family is full of injustices. You know, we're Jewish. You know, we've been there, seen that, done that. You know, but I again don't have empathy for people who just ramble and talk about shit they don't know about. I don't have tolerance for it, but I choose to stay out of it.
But yet you listen to our shows.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is that like
self-deprecation
at the end of the end of the day, I get to hear different points of view, and maybe my perspective will change about something, or like an ideal that I've had for 10 plus years that I didn't know anything else will change.
Yeah,
and that's okay. You know,
it also goes both ways though. Like, I mean, I think Lucas can attest to this. I mean, we play video games almost every night we can, at least on PlayStation, and we have like a diverse friend group, and Lucas and I have our own opinions. We're very similar in line with like our opinions on things, and then we have a couple of people in our friend group aren't. But like the thing is, they are open to talking about it, open to like discussing things in a very calm manner. And even though, like, say I don't disagree with them, I still love them. Becoming Lucas's friend. I've actually only been friends with Lucas now nearly coming up on a year.
Almost
but like
a year.
It's been crazy, like how like in a time of like I didn't think that I could like listen to someone who has very different views than I. Like people like that who are open also to mine and very like willing just to like discuss things calmly, that makes me open my eyes more, and that makes me open my ears more to people who have a similar way.
And in my opinion, that's what a lot of people are kind of not focusing on, the fact that we can have these open-minded views that are different from others and actually learn from them. Not,
oh no, you've got to have the same opinion as everyone else.
Okay, Karen,
just ask the Facebooks.
Would you like to talk to the manager?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Please no. If I have to hear that guy's voice one more time, I'm not gonna be happy.
I was gonna say I can call Henry.
Fuck Henry.
You know, but the thing about it is that it really not at the end of the day, like getting mad about a differing opinion is just it's useless. It's absolutely it's a no sum battle.
You know why that happens,
when you
right?
Start ego.
No, not even really.
Really? Because I'd figure ego plays into it a bit.
Cognitive dissonance. You're challenging someone's value.
But people equal shit in my book.
Well, they all think they're going to change
People
everyone's
have no
opinion.
value.
Like, the way they spew off everything, it's like they legitimately think they're going to change someone's viewpoint miraculously. Like, dude, they've heard everything you have to say 500 times. Like,
No, they haven't. That's the thing, though.
No, they haven't heard it, but it's
hadn't
been
heard it
spewed
from
at
you.
them. It's been spewed at them. They haven't actually received it. It's not going in. It's not going to.
That's
unless
why
they want it
everybody's
to.
getting pissed off right now. It's cognitive dissonance. You're challenging somebody's value.
And is that why everyone's starting to key up to rapper Tom McDonald?
Who the fuck's Tom
Probably.
McDonald?
You know him. I
Dude,
play him all the time.
I want to kick your butt right now.
Let me just say that. Let me just say this. Like I want to get the people like Tom McDonald, right?
Yeah.
Somebody like that. I want to get them in a room one-on-one because all of this
He just joined.
advertisement he does.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
It's partial. What if Tom
Surprise.
McDonald?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yes.
it's not the Grape Ape joining us. It's Tom McDonald.
You heard you bitches were talking
But-
shit.
I'm not talking shit. I'm actually holding him up.
I'm listening because
Yeah,
I
sorry
want to
about
see
that.
where this goes.
I can't take what they're doing in a public forum as the truth. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, a lot of these guys have to follow a persona that is selling records and selling music. It's just the way it is, and a lot of guys do it. But I feel like if I got Tom McDonald in a room, I would gain a better understanding of the human being that does that for a living and find out maybe some of the values that he has are true. And then some of the stuff is to just catch people's attention and give the shock value factor.
If fake woke and no lives matter are really his values, then I agree with him. I agree with those songs.
And you know what? I can 100% agree with you. Like, I like a lot of his music. I bump it. You know, because I like the
Fact of
shock
the matter-
value, don't give a fuck.
Yes,
I'm
and-
going to say what the fuck I want to.
And from my personal opinion, I don't give a shit if those are really his values, because what he's saying needs to be said.
And someone needs to hear it.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same thing. I'll go ahead and say it. Look, I don't like MGK's new record at all. I don't find any value in it musically for me. But you know what I'm going to say? At least he realized that the path he was going down was not the right one. He made a change. And anybody who gets to work with Travis Barker on a full record gets my fucking approval.
And don't forget, gets to bang Megan Fox on a regular basis.
Wait, who are we talking
I don't
about
think
again?
she's that cute anymore.
MGK. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
I haven't heard his new stuff.
It's pretty good.
Can't say I have
And,
either.
and here's the thing for me. It's just like I've heard the same record over and over and over and over again. And that's just my personal take on it. Like, if I want to go back to like that era of music, I'm pulling up Blink, I'm pulling up the Descendants, I'm pulling up, you know, like all these older bands, because that's where my, you know, like my foundation started with that style of music. Like Blink 182, if I say that's not one of my inspirations musically, I'm a fool.
Well, and that's where we differ, Andy. Like, just age and period of.
Yeah, he's got better
when
bladder
we
control.
started listening. yeah. No, just when we got into the type of music that we got into, because I'd say our music interests are relatively similar. Mine is just a little bit newer than yours is, just because of the time period.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, there's bands that we connect on like a whole nother level, like Circa Survive and Anthony Green and like all those like really amazing, like poetic musicians that are out there, like really doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're just a positive role model to everybody they interact with. You know, there's no ego involved.
And I really, with Anthony Green at least, I really, really like his life story. We were talking about artists struggling with drugs earlier in the segment, and he's one of those. He has a really good article online about his story and overcoming his heroin use. So,
and then I always go Motorhead when it comes to drug use and stuff like that. So I'm the bad example.
I got
in this
into
group.
Nikki Sixx, big time.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you, like one of the most inspirational stories drug wise for me is Macklemore.
Ah, yes.
We've talked about this too,
dude. This is the thing. So like he was the kind of start of like I want to call it like the real awake. I'm not saying woke. I'm not saying that word.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say awake.
Fuck that word no more.
You know, because it's got a negative connotation. So they're more aware. That's a better word.
Yes.
They're aware of their issues. But at the times when they write records, they're not ready to take that step and deal with it yet. And then you watch this guy go on a hiatus completely from the thrift shop days, like this whole persona that he had created with himself, started working with another artist and wrote one of the most inspirational like addiction records I've ever had the chance to listen to. Like he says how it is. Like he talks about waking up and not knowing where he's at on his own furniture because he put too much promethazine in his cup, and like all these struggles that like, dude, I love Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons is another great example of somebody who's like an advocate for recovery. He goes to meetings, he goes to NA seminars, like he talks about it. He's not afraid to say like, look, I was a raging, fucked up person.
I kind of like how this episode's going compared to it's in very contrasting to the last time Andy was on when we were talking about psychedelics and opening the mind and the third eye. Mm-hmm. It's very refreshing to see the other side of the coin.
That's one of the reasons I got into Nikki Sixx, because like I was listening to them when he was using heroin and all that, and now he has, I don't know how it's going now, but as of a few years ago, he had opened a whole bunch of, he had like helped pay to open a whole bunch of recovery centers for people, and it was a pretty big deal there for a while after he wrote that book.
And then I'm going to bring up Celautica.
Huh?
I'm going to bring up Celautica because
Metallica?
Yes. Because a lot of their music was really good when they were fucked up, and then they sobered up, and it's like, okay, you sold out. Got it. Mm-hmm. In my opinion.
Well, they started to make songs for the money, not songs for the love of it.
Here's the thing. I'm never going to call it selling out because realistically, it's buying in.
Okay, buying a cup.
It's when you've gotten to the point where it doesn't make sense is when your drummer goes off on a rampage on a free streaming service that's getting you millions of hits on your music, you fucking idiot.
Yep.
Like,
oh, fuck yes, finally. This is why I love Andy.
That's my problem, because guess what? If my record gets leaked, like if Warpath were to get leaked right now, like somebody leaked it, I'm getting views.
Yep.
Yes.
People are noticing that project. So it's, for me, who gives a shit? Like, here's a perfect example. I'm a metalhead, right? And I listen to the fuck out of Breaking Benjamin. And I'll tell you why. Because when I went through, when I went through my first recovery stint off the harder stuff, my first one, that album Saturate is what got me through to being clean. That whole record, I played it on repeat, and it was the music, the tempo, the beat, and the words that were coming out of that album that just went in and didn't go out. They just stayed in there. And it was the first time I realized there was another human being on this planet that knew exactly what I was going through. And if you speak to Ben, he's got a story. they're from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And if you know anything about Scranton, it's not a great place.
No.
Yeah, they got paper. They got Dunder Mifflin and a great show. That's about it.
Oh, Jesus.
But the thing is like that's the whole topic here, is that the struggle was the driving force, and look at what that band became.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
Look how huge that entity is right now. Still, they're still valid. They're still relevant. They're still selling records. And you mean to tell me people want to come from that, like, media Facebook mentality where they read somebody else's opinion and then that becomes their belief and they have no idea what they're speaking on. And then they form a irrational, illogical opinion about individuals that actually, if they took the time to listen and not have another opinion and form their own, they'd realize, holy shit, these are real people with real problems that took those problems and made it a success.
Joyner Lucas, I think, is another prime example in the rap community, at least.
Dude, I hear all the time, fuck that guy. He's a woke rapper. He doesn't know shit. Are you kidding? He wrote a song about a kid who got shot by a devious person, but the clever way he did it so that people understood was did it from both the shooter's perspective and the victim's perspective.
Well, and I think a lot of people say that he's woke just due to his, he did this, not only because of the I'm not racist thing. That was like his big takeoff, in my opinion. But I think the one that a lot of people got to where he was like, oh, he's not part of this community. But that was his, like, spoof on Lil Pump's Gucci Gang, where he just, like, went off on this kid for talking about name brands and doing drugs and all that stuff. But
he basically disgraced the dude in a track for being like that money, hose, drugs rapper.
Yeah, but I appreciate him more for his lyricism. I think he's a very, very, very well thought out poet, especially when it comes to things like the song
I'm Sorry is one that comes
that's
to
the
mind.
one that I was that's the one that I was just thinking of. But his like best friend or his brother had committed suicide. I can't remember.
I'm getting a personal communique. Gary, bring up the fact that half of the shit we listened to when we were growing up would be considered woke music now. System of a Down, Pantera.
System of a Down is
100%. Look what that band. We'll get back to the I'm Sorry thing.
Yeah, my apologies for interrupting, but the guest question had me.
No.
But
You're
that
good.
band just raised a bunch of money by releasing 2 tracks after a long hiatus because of really bad emotional problems within the band and like arguing and like some real turbulent shit.
Back to the drummer thing, huh?
Right, back to the drummer thing again. There you go. But at the end of the day, they put their values aside and realized that their country and where they came from and where they worked so hard to get out of because it is a terrible place.
Mm-hmm.
They realized, like, look, we gotta get outside ourselves and give people, not only the fans that have been supporting us ever since the hiatus, like everybody bumps the fucking same 8 songs still to this day.
Sugar.
But
Sugar.
yeah, absolutely, that's on the list. But at the end of the day, it's putting your values aside for a greater good cause. But like,
what's the question, Cody?
System of a Down is a love or Down with the Sickness is a love song.
Down with the Sickness was Disturbed.
Oh,
Disturbed.
Yep.
Thanks for playing the game. You suck.
It's I get the two. I get those two mixed up a lot.
Okay, I'll let you have it.
I really appreciate bands like System of a Down and Rage Against the Machine that are very, very.
I like Rage.
You just like the drummer.
No, I did. We're going to sing about how much we hate the government and also why you should hate the government too.
Yeah, but you got to listen to Richard G's Lounge Against the Machine. It's much more soothing.
There is a war. There is a war going on for your mind. The Flowbots. 12 years ago. 12, 15 years ago.
I still like Handlebars.
And it is exactly what the fuck is happening still.
Well, I mean, if you look at it this way, too, you could also go Green Day, American Idiot.
Yep.
They Simpsoned that.
Fun fact, Green Day's American Idiot was turned into a Broadway production.
I know.
Nice.
Yep, and I was in that show.
What?
Heck yeah!
You're a whoa! Wait! We got a Broadway actor on the show finally.
Off Broadway.
It's still Broadway, whether it's on or off.
We'll
who
give
cares?
it to you.
We'll give it to you.
He's still a star in my book.
Closest we're getting to Broadway.
I'm gonna give him a cutout
really...
star and say it's the BHN Walk of Fame to just put his name on a little paper cutout
duct
star.
tape star.
Duct tape star.
Yep.
Hell yeah!
It's the off Hollywood walk.
The which one?
Sorry, sir.
Billy Joel's character.
Nice.
Believe it or not, Lucas, little known fact, I played Albert in Bye Bye Birdie when I was like 15 years old.
Dang, dude.
I just
played Edmund
taking it back
Narnia.
at the period pieces.
What?
Lenny. I played Lenny in Of Mice and Men.
I have no creative abilities.
The best inadvertent funny show I've ever fucking seen in my life, and I got to play the guy I made fun of the most.
Absolutely.
That would make a great comedy sketch.
Oh,
Yes,
dude.
it would.
And it does every day of our
Absolutely.
lives. I mean, look at fucking Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tune shit. I like the rabbits, George.
Yeah.
Which way did he go, George?
Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
It's right there with
But
Pete the
back
fucking
to,
Puma. Yeah, back to music. And Broadway.
Back to the I'm sorry. Back to the I'm sorry thing.
No
Like,
more depression murder.
We're gonna get a little dark on my end, but
Hey, as
when
long
I
as
was
we're all
very
not
young-
playing The Floor is Lava the hard way, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was very young,
It's
I
a
was
Hangman's
11 years
News
old.
comment, Remy.
I had,
Okay.
When I was 11 years old, I had a friend by the name of Steven Katz, and he's my best friend. I grew up with the kid, pretty much spent my entire childhood with him. And unfortunately, I went through watching him shoot himself in the same car. We were sitting outside of his house, and that happened. Messed me up as a child, 100%. And that still to this day. But what I will say is, the universe at the time when I was getting clean for the second time was really prevalent in my life, and I was actually working with a hip hop project to get ready for the National Cannabis Fest in Washington, D.C., because they needed a guitar player who knew how to play blues and jazz, and I'm really prevalent in those styles of guitar. And I went into the studio one day.
Cody,
and
settle
the guy,
down. Settle down, Cody. He's taken.
That's not what it's about.
But I ended up walking into the studio with the producer, and he was listening to I'm Sorry by Joyner Lucas. And I came in halfway through, and I said, hey, if you don't mind, can you rewind this song? Because there's some real shit going on in my brain right now, and I need to listen to this. And the song is basically, again, another double-sided take on suicide. It comes from the person who commits the act, and then it shoots to the brother who's dealing with it.
No pun intended, folks.
Emotional. Yeah. So through listening to those words, it enabled me to get to a point where I realized that it wasn't my fault. There's nothing I could have done. And all the emotions that I went through during that time in my life were valid, were absolutely valid. And listening to that song really gave me both perspectives, because I realized really how much pain Steven was in and the reason why he felt like he needed to do it, because then I had a better understanding of his thought process during the event.
Right.
And what led up to the event. And then it also allowed me to deal with my anger, frustration, denial, like all the train wreck of emotions you go through when you lose somebody, and especially when you witness it.
Right.
So my biggest thing for people out there that I can say, if you've gone through a similar situation, first up, speak up. Absolutely do not keep that shit inside. It's not worth it. It's going to be 10 times worse, and nothing is going to come out of it. The second thing is find creative ways to find a path of contentness and living with the emotions and realizing they're real things, and it's okay to not know how to deal with them. And that's been the hardest part, because I'm terrible at dealing with death. as a human. That's just like my biggest flaw is that when somebody goes, I like every bit of my life goes.
So I would be remiss if I didn't interrupt and say these next few words. Guys, help is available. Someone is willing and always willing to listen to you. If you don't think so, call this number, 1-800-273-8255. There will be someone on the other end to pick that up and listen to whatever you have to say. And as also for you veterans out there, let's go with 1-800-273-8255. Press 1, or you can text 838-255. It's not worth it, guys. Your light is too powerful to take out. There's always someone there to talk to.
Dude,
That's all I'm saying.
I can't tell you how many. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times, like, when I'm in a rough situation, all I think about is, like, if I were gone, what would Lucas think? If I were gone, what would my wife think?
Right. If you were gone, where would I fucking put the money towards hooch-brand? Come on, dude.
Right. I mean, but
strip club.
Like, for me, yeah. But for me, like, thinking about those things derails the illogical train of thought that I'm having at that time, where I'm feeling worthless. Like, because there's not a day that goes by, and, like, this is just me being honest again, is where I wake up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror and I hate it. I hate what I'm looking at.
Well, then make that image your bitch.
What
own it and make it better. That's the way I thrive or die. I apologize for kicking your guys' catchphrase out there, but I look in the mirror every day, and if I don't like it, I look at it and I fucking go, what can I change to make this more? What can I do to change this to make it thrive or die? Because I am 100% the shit by the time I leave that mirror.
And you know what? Like, I'll give you a prime example. Like, this morning, I had to, like, what my wife calls working back from murder.
There you go.
I had to work back from this morning. I woke up angry at the world, angry at some people around me, and not wanting to talk about it. And that caused me to open up and say what I said this morning, which was all the illogical things I was thinking about doing. So my wife would tell me to shut the fuck up. I'm an idiot. Because I need that type of reassurance sometimes to snap my thought process out, because it snaps me back to realistic expectations with, reality.
And now I'm just realizing why we are so savage with each other on BHN.
Well, everyone needs that. You can't, like, my mom, for example, like, I could tell her anything, and she's going to be super positive, super upbeat. She'll never give it to me real. She'll never give it to me straight.
Okay.
She will never look at me and go, no, cut the shit. You fucked up.
Right.
Never will. Can't go to her for advice on things.
Okay.
Can't go to her and be like, hey, I'm struggling. She's too upbeat, too positive, too reaffirming. She's like, oh, everything's great. I'm super proud of you. It doesn't matter that you killed someone. It's perfect. Can't go there. You need the real advice. You need the person that's going to go, no, that doesn't work that way. You're a drunk piece of shit. Get your life together.
That's why you like me.
You need the person that's going to slap you.
And you need a person who's going to roast you.
Yeah.
That's the similar situation I'm in, and I'm happy to hear that you have a similar situation like that, because, like, I feel the same way. Like, if I were to, like, go out today, and not saying that this will ever happen, but if I were to go out tonight after the show because I was feeling angry at the world and take somebody's life, the first thing that my parents would do would find the best lawyer in my area, get that I needed, and I wouldn't learn anything.
Fucking white privilege.
Do you know what my mom told me when I was 12? Now, keep in mind, my mother has lived a life that most people would not survive. But she told me when I was 12 years old, you can call me if you ever get arrested. My dad told me the same thing. And
what was the second half to this?
I'm not coming to get you tonight.
Okay.
You're going to sit at least one day. And my mom said, and if you're wrong, well, then you're wrong. And if you're right, then I'll back you. And that's what I told my kids. It really pisses my daughter off. really pisses her off.
But at the same time, like, no one, especially today, no one takes accountability for anything, and no one realizes that, like, one word can have an effect on the conversation or whatever is going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I
got in a fight with my roommate the other day.
Lucas, I still can't do that. Fuck you.
For the viewers listening at home, Lucas is blowing vape rings.
I cannot do it. Fuck you. Sorry, continue. I'm sorry to keep derailing shit, guys.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. No problem at all. But I got in a fight with him the other day because I used the word stupid, which I said you're acting stupid, but to him was a personal attack, and that was a threatening gesture. Right. But I had to realize, like, what my part in that situation was, and I couldn't blame it on anybody but the both of us. We were both being dicks. We were both being assholes. We both said shit we didn't mean. And now we're okay because we talked about it.
So, Lucas, how did that make you feel?
Oh, God. We ain't there. We ain't at the hooch house yet. We ain't at that point.
Yeah, which
I do a lot to get me to move out to fucking Florida. Tell them that much.
Well, as soon as you guys,
trust me.
We'll share that Kickstarter link a little bit more. It'll happen.
And I mean, that's the thing is, like, this time of, you know, even with the GoFundMe right now, like, since
GoFundMe, not Kickstarter. My bad.
No, it's fine.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, just different names.
Same concept.
You know? But, like, it's not moving quickly. And for a while there, it's like that worry you get, like, fuck. Like, did we make a mistake by doing this? But at the end of the day, it's a patience game. It's just talking to the right people that are in a position to make that donation. I don't want to take $25 from somebody if that $25 is going to mean the food on their table.
And like I was... Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But like I was saying earlier, too, money is just a resource. It's expendable. Like, that's as nice as it would be to have some help with this initial launch. It's not extremely necessary because regardless, we're going to do it because this is what we want to do.
Right.
He's just Googling pictures of other people, isn't he?
No, sorry. The stash, if you guys are in our little chat room, or go into our little chat room on Discord, Stash Thrasher 9000 did share a screen cap from his off-Broadway stint in American Idiot, and we're kind of sidetracked, so it's cute. You have to.
So I told you, I look different every single time.
Look at the swoop over the eye.
Dude, I almost thought it was Kylo Ren or some kind of bad impression therefore of.
I feel the teenage angst coming through the photo.
Well,
and
that's what I was going for.
I mean, if he's trying to be Billy Joe, it's all teenage angst.
Mm-hmm.
You accomplished the goal.
Even
I
in his
hate this
mid-40s.
town.
I hate this town.
Fuck!
There it is.
But
Somebody ate the last
what
Hot
were you saying,
Pocket.
like,
My apologies for derailing, guys.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
It's what we do.
but- yeah, back to what I was saying. This is something that we're passionate about. So, like, as nice as it would be to have some financial backing for the initial release, it's not necessary. Like, we're asking for help for whatever people can give, just because it would be nice to have initially, so that we can get the clothing to you guys faster.
Especially based on off
of
the quote, I have a theory that the truth is never told during the 9 to 5 hours. Hunter S.
Dude,
Thompson,
like,
still one
I'll
of my
tell
favorites.
You, I mean, it's a quote that rings true because I can think back to every 9 to 5 or 9 to 7 or whatever job, like the norm, you have scheduled hours. I can remember that there was nothing true about any of it. Like, people were so fake. It was just a fake friendship, fake dialogue, fake affirmations of just people's opinions that they were just trying to, like, toot their ego at work because they have to work under somebody else. And that's hard for people to understand, that when you enter a place of work that has an owner, no matter what it is, their words bond, and you just have to accept that.
Yep.
It's unfortunate sometimes.
And that's a nice thing about this company too, I would say, is I don't really consider us like a hierarchy, like owner, co-owner. Like, I don't consider it that. I just consider us a collective of people who specialize in making group decisions and building off of each other.
Cody,
and
do you
each
understand?
one of us having like a special.
Do you understand why they like us so much now?
Because we're
I'm not
assholes?
sold on they do.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. The environment that we're gonna have, like each step of the way, like right now, it's grown since the last time I was on the show. That's how much we've grown. You've gained, 1, 2, 3 more people since the last time we were on this show. And they're 3 quality people. They're not just people. They're quality people.
Everybody froze.
So that's important. But at the end of the day, whether it's this small group of people or the warehouse stage, there's never going to be a hierarchy. I just feel it doesn't. You have to have direction, but you don't have to let the status that you have at your company guide the direction.
Yeah.
One of the books I picked up. Go ahead.
I was going to say, all that aside, you will have me on board as long as you can promise me 2 things.
Okay.
A fireman's pole in the warehouse and and nachos.
Nachos. A
All
whole
right,
mess
done.
of nachos.
A whole mess. Let's do a nacho buffet Tuesday.
Buffet.
I'd like to add that he did not request the hoochie coochie just then, so.
No, I'm not. No, the hoochie coochie was
Yeah.
that's no. I got
The
you.
Schmeckles and the Hoochie Coochie were already solidified with this company a long time ago. we already.
I just want that fireman's pole in the middle of it, like Ghostbusters and shit.
Oh, dude, I wanna be able to slide down a fireman's pole out of my office into the warehouse and be like, "All right, guys, what's up? Like, what are we
What's
doing
up,
today?"
bitches?
Tell you exactly what's going to happen this week.
Takes a big rip off of a
But,
fucking blunt and goes,
We're gonna
whatever the
ship
fuck
shit.
you want.
Ship the shit.
Hey,
Ship
speaking
it.
of which, but
Insert bad habit of choice here.
Really OSHA compliant? Who knows?
Who the
Are
fuck
any
is
of us-
OSHA?
Who is this ocean? Why do we have to be compliant with them?
is that a
Ocean? That's way over there.
a new strain of devil's lettuce, my dude? Is it OSHA? Is it like OSHA takes your face off, man?
Somebody's probably got that one.
OSHA, isn't that what Tripper named his forklift?
Oh my god!
Also, while we're just talking about some random stuff right now.
Go
my
nuts,
girlfriend
please.
Messaged me. My girlfriend messaged me and said, "I found out today that people in Florida pick pineapples like we pick blueberries and apples." Which is
I am
kinda
today's
wild to
years old.
So the thing with that, and I can give you a little
me.
insight.
I knew about oranges, but not pineapples.
Really?
They
I didn't know they had pineapples. I thought it was
they
white.
sell different color. They sell different color pineapple trees and like bushes at nurseries. So you can get them.
Plant nurseries, right?
The soil. Yeah. So
Okay.
the soil down here is like a very like aerated soil because it's mostly sand. So when it comes to these tropical plants that need the mass amount of water and then the drainage, so they don't get root rot. That's why this ecosystem works so well. So you can do bananas, oranges, strawberries, grapefruits, pineapples, like whatever you want.
Yes,
It's
folks,
just
we
how
know he
much
just
work-
went full Bubba Gump on horticulture.
In all caps, she says, "What? Different colored pineapple trees?"
Dude, I'm telling you,
You
man,
can
I've
get a
seen
blue
pink
pineapple
Well,
tree, a pink
I believe he
pineapple
might
tree.
be involved with like a plant company
Pink.
of some sort too.
Say again, bud?
Isn't he involved with like a
Pineapple
plant
burgers.
company of some sort?
That
Fried
would,
pineapple.
Yeah, that would
Dole?
be mainly. I will tell you, when it comes to the horticulture world and the plant world, that's all my wife. That's all her.
And where do we find her at?
She's
Yeah, is this another plug opportunity?
Yes. So you can go to Instagram and go to the Wondering Plants. Wondering with an O.
Like Wonder Bread, guys.
Yes, exactly. And then we also have Wonder Plant Art. And then you can go to her website, which is thewonderingplants.com.
All can be found on Instagram under her
And
link
guys,
tree.
by the way, exciting news. Because of the weather and the time of the season we're in, she's back in business. She can ship plants depending on the temperature. So just keep that in mind.
Uh-oh. We got guys cracking up like a motherfucker. What happened?
Oh, God.
Oh, no. I got to know what this is because both of them just started losing their shit at the same time.
I lost all the video, so I have no clue.
What happened?
I just told him. That I'm right.
Uh-oh.
He just told me to look at him, and he literally messaged me on Facebook just to look at him, and he do the face.
Oh, I'm missing the face.
Moderately broken.
Close the program and open it again.
I just get all caps.
Yeah,
hey,
close the
Rem,
program.
Look at me.
And use the Wi-Fi, bruh.
Why? I have unlimited internets.
Because you'll get a better connection.
I just want to see fucking
Stash
Master 9000 do the blue steel.
Oh, he can
One look.
I still have never seen that movie.
You've never seen
How
Zoolander?
are the children going to learn to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
Oh, hold on.
It's frightening.
It's the glasses that really make it for me.
It's like I was gonna say, it's like friggin' the Big Lebowski. I can't remember the character's name. Doing the blue steel.
Is it the one that? Oh shit!
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
People are back.
What's his freaking name? I can't remember.
John Goodman.
John Goodman,
Yes.
but the character's name I can't remember.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
It's just the glasses that make you look like an NRA member named Lee.
My cold dead hands.
My life only runs on two things.
guys.
Oh no, he's gone.
Wardrobe change.
Wardrobe. Oh, here it comes.
Put the gun away.
Put the weapon down.
I'm not
Put
allowed-
the weapon down.
He's not in Canada. It's okay.
I'm not allowed to have my. I'm not allowed to have my guns. Gary's got my guns.
I have not
Guns?
enough
What are
guns.
those?
Me
No, but
either.
One of the things, like, the cool thing about the whole hierarchy thing is, like, leadership is, like, a super big important thing, and this goes with, like, mental health, because, like, there's a lot of non-leadership in that community when, and I
A
suffered.
lot of
as a kid.
communities.
But the greatest thing that I found is that there are a lot of people out there that can really teach you leadership. One of my high school teachers was one of those people. My design and production teacher, who taught me how to do like sound, lights, and stage design for like musicals and theater, and all the stuff that really guided me down an awesome path. But the other thing that I've learned is that there's a lot of these veterans that come out of being in the military, and they see flaws in the leadership of the people leading the squads or the generals or
You
the
waited
captains.
until the wrong person walked away on that one.
We're gonna keep
Circle
on this
back now.
discussion. But one of the things that I wanted to learn about leadership is how to talk to an individual when you're having an issue. And this can apply in any situation, like when an individual, like if Remy were to come to me and be like, dude, I'm feeling really down in the dumps and I just don't know what to do. Like, and this leadership quality, that I learned from, and his name's Jocko Willing, is in these situations, you have to like go inside yourself and say to yourself, well, what am I doing that may be causing this problem or this issue? So let me ask him that question first. So the way I want to approach situations, like first of all in the workplace, like I notice a lot of leadership positions don't know how to handle their employees, and it's terrible. It doesn't make for productivity. It doesn't make for good anything in the workplace. So instead of somebody coming into the situation and from an aggressive nature because you're the boss or you have this status title, with whether it's in the military or in the company or with like an entertainment venue or like whatever it is, you should be asking the employee or the person you're speaking to, like, well, what have I done in this specific situation that caused you to feel this way and why your productivity's gone down? I'm willing to take ownership and see what we can do to change things around here to make it better for you and for me, because when everybody eats and when everybody wins, it's a win-win. It's not a zero-sum game. So I want people to be able to approach these situations like from a different perspective. Like, I used to think when somebody was like, I would look across the room and two people were talking, right? They would be laughing. And my immediate reaction is like, damn, they're talking shit about me and they're laughing about something that's wrong with me. And like, that's my first initial thought process. Like, that's fucking illogical, because they could have seen a fucking shitting unicorn flying behind me, and that was the funniest fucking thing they've ever seen in their life. You know, so I don't know where they're coming from. So instead of just immediately jumping to like, oh shit, like these people hate me, you know, like, am I the problem or am I not the problem? That's the question I ask myself, is like, am I the issue here and that's why they're laughing, or am I not? And if I'm really curious, I can go up and say, hey guys, what's so funny? I want to be a part of the group. I want to know, you know, like what the laughing's about, because I like laughing too. You know, and you may find out, yeah, they're laughing about you and be like, okay, that's actually kind of funny. I'm going to go away now because you're not my people. So, you know, it's just a different thought process. And, you know, like I was saying, like before Gary walked away, like a lot of these military guys like have a yeah, it's all good. A lot of these military guys have a great perspective on how leadership is wrong and how you can change it.
Because we've seen it a lot.
Right. And that's why when you guys speak about that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh shit, I need to listen. I need to tune into this show right now. You know, so
that is pretty flattering.
Anyways, I know we've been going for a minute now.
Yeah, quite.
So
we're almost at 2 hours now compared to the last one.
Oh, damn. All right. Look at us go.
Yeah, time flew again.
Hey, it's all good. But, Remy, one last thing so we can end the show. Like, what's your like favorite thing that we've been doing lately, and like where we're coming from? Like, what are you excited about Hooch coming up soon?
I think just like getting. I mean, I'm really excited to see what Geraldo's going to do with the website. I think the website's going to be sick just from hearing him. He's a smart dude, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm also looking forward to getting once we get some product up here, just getting some shoots going. I'm going to be doing a lot of photo shoots.
I volunteer as tribute for some modeling. Just saying, I'll do it.
Fly up to Canada for that.
Oh, darn!
Well, we can teach. We can also get some other stuff going. Maybe some
shit,
something going down there.
I'll stop in Michigan and pick you up, brah.
We can just drive there from Michigan.
I'm looking forward to just some video shoots. Like, I'm just fired up to like actually get content going from my end. A lot of that's going to be the video side. I'm pretty freaking stoked about, just because I got some good ideas on just like getting different types of content out there. I think one thing that I'm going to really try to focus on, I think one thing that Andy, I think you've done a great, and both you and Lucas have done a great job, is I'm not necessarily what you'd call like, I don't know if I necessarily fit too much into like what you'd probably stereotypically think about the brand once you see the designs. And when I first came in, I was like, shoot, they're gonna think I'm way too bland, way too Wonder Bread for this type of stuff. But like through what Andy's been saying, it's like made me realize that it's more of like for anybody. And I'm excited to like show off that kind of how diverse it can be, that like what the style can be, what the community can be. And I'm just like super stoked because like I never thought in a million years that I'd be on a podcast called Bad Habits Network. I never thought in a world I'd be working with two guys who used to just like completely like kill it on the social media landscape when it came to vaping and that entire world. I never, as all of you simultaneously hit your vapes,
It's
a weird world.
I was gonna say it's a social trigger. You say vape, we all start.
Like, oh yeah, that is a good idea.
Hey, I haven't done that in a minute.
It's pretty light.
It's like Pavlov's dogs. You
Yes,
just
thank you.
bing.
Classical conditioning.
Cloud check.
Where is it?
But yeah, so
Hey, hold on, guys. Tripper, ring the bell and we'll all vape, okay? And Remy just says, "Fuck it, I'm drinking."
What do
He's like,
got
you
there,
people have
clam
horrible
juice?
habits.
No, I don't got clam juice. Today is Blood Moon Whitewater Blood Orange Sour Beer.
PC Light.
Nice. I was weird. I was more concerned about what you were drinking out of the glass. No, not you, Lucas. Remy, because I swear, I swear to God, I could have sworn.
Vodka?
That bottle
Yep.
probably
Yes, it
cost
is.
more than my truck.
Okay, it is Whitney. I thought I recognized that
Sir.
bottle.
Yes, sir. It's too good.
Yeah,
Hammer and sickle vodka with
Yep.
some Red Bull Yellow Edition.
Okay. You,
Oh, he's going for the uppers and the downers.
yeah, uppers and downers. I'm fucking totally drunk and I want to pass out, but I can't.
Which is the AK, so
I have wings to hit the wall.
So,
Yes.
Lucas, before we head off, what are you excited about, with what's going on?
I'm really excited to continue working on getting the product placement and the swatches done. I'd really, really, really like to set a date within like the next week or 2 weeks, like an absolute release date, so that we have that, so we can start pushing that.
Well, you missed February 31st. That's already come and gone.
Dang.
Couldn't resist the dad
Don't.
joke. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Other than that, I am going to be super, super, super busy this next week with band releases and photo shoots I have scheduled and everything. I'm starting a new YouTube channel for like music covers, so I'm doing that. And it's just a lot. So,
You got to get me that footage.
It hurt.
yeah, I'm working on it.
What?
Yeah, Remy, I'll also
Lack
have
of
some
penis.
footage for you here soon that I'm going to need for a playthrough video. We'll definitely talk.
Hell yeah.
But to close it out, what I'm excited about is to get people on board with what we're doing, and really get to know some new people and see what an impact my company has on other people's lives. Because it's had a great impact on a lot of people's lives already, and we don't have anything printed for the public, which is amazing. I can't thank everybody who's just been on the grind when I've been so busy putting stuff up on Facebook, sharing things. What I'm also excited about is that new logo that I put together for this network.
Yes.
That's a super awesome collab. I'm super excited about it. It really came together the way I wanted it to. And I have to give credit to my wife for helping me with it, because she got me outside my comfort zone, made me learn a little bit. And that's why that logo came out so nicely.
And you didn't destroy a MacBook while doing so mad credit on that.
Right. So I'm just really excited to be doing more of this. I've got some other stuff that I'm doing. One thing I did want to bring up while we're on the podcast thing before we close out, I will also be doing a podcast myself with a group of individuals. And it's a company called Occult Entertainment. And we are going to, we're going to be doing some things where we're going to bring a positive spin to what people think about when it comes to the occult. And
I look forward to this. I look
the
very
other thing,
forward to this.
It will mainly be about mental health and using what we're doing with the group of individuals I brought on and signed up to work with. They're going to bring a lot of experience, strength, and hope through their experience, through gaming, through music, through drawing, through art. It's going to be the collective that Gary came up with. It really kind of like started this like motion of a train of really doing some really cool stuff. So Remy, that's another thing I'm going to have for you, like getting that set up and like a lot of the Twitch stuff and a lot of the, inner workings of some of that stuff. So that's some stuff that we've got for the future of Hooch. That Occult Entertainment and Hooch and Bad Habits Network will all be working together to spread this message of positivity through good uses of bad habits.
Not saying I can or cannot say I can exercise this, but I can try. Just saying, folks. No, we all know me. I'm a little bit of a lush.
Hey, and that's the thing is that, I have bad habits that didn't work, and I have bad habits that do work. And have been my greatest successes as we talk about. I'm so thankful for you guys.
And I was going to say, I base a lot of my successes off my failures. So it works out. It works out.
Absolutely. And,
Sun Tzu said it best. There's 1,000 lessons in a single loss and none in 1,000 wins.
If you're going to go mental health route, make sure you involve someone that's trauma informed.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
A lot of people know about mental health, but there's not a lot of trauma-informed out there.
What is trauma-informed?
Trauma-informed is people knowing the difference between what I call garden variety depression and trauma and how to handle it. Because you have to handle traumatized people differently than you handle depressed people.
Perfect.
Right, and when it comes to the interaction with the public, I will be approaching appropriate sources for the guidance and the correct information. The podcast mainly won't be speaking on, I guess, the way to fix it. It's just experiences that we've had that have helped us through the trauma that have been benefits, so that if there's somebody that has a similar thought process and chemical imbalance with the situation, they can relate to that, then reach out privately, and then that's when I can approach the source and bring that correct information to them.
Yep.
Because I don't want to do that on a public forum. I'm not here to speak on shit I don't know.
Right.
He exercises Rule 1 as well. Nice.
So that'll be, I had that in mind, absolutely. And, I'm not a licensed therapist, psychologist, sociologist. I'm none of those things. But what I am is a kid that has been through some things, and that my experience, strength, and hope will have some effect on somebody that will help them through their experience.
And it will.
Can I just say also, I do, kind of building a little bit off what Andy was saying, just a little bit snippet of it. I do, I remember getting ready for this. I listened to a couple episodes of the podcast before.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I would say you guys are awesome, and I appreciate you guys doing this, because I think you guys are also a blast to talk to.
I was gonna say, just share the links, dude. Just give us credit, and we'll give you credit too, man. It's a two-way street. We appreciate you guys and hooch-brand. And when I seen you, Remy, on the Facebook Live that Andy does occasionally, every fucking week, on hooch-brand on Facebook.
Used to be way worse, dude. Used to be way worse.
I actually I seen Remy. I'm like, oh my God, this guy looks so bland and one-dimensional, but I can see through that bullshit. Let's get him on.
Yo, Remy, no shit. When we were on that live feed, I got a message during the live feed from Gary saying, I need him on the show. That's like word for word what he said. And I was like, done. I'll make it happen.
Yep. And then then I caught Lucas giving me a little credit on the fucking feeds too, going, oh, I know who he is. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
And I mean, that's the cool thing, is that this has built such a great relationship. We've done 3 episodes now, which has been phenomenal. Oh, yeah.
I forgot about your first episode you were on with Ken.
Yep, I was on a vaping episode. But that's the cool thing, is that there's more episodes to come. There's going to be more to be talked about. And, this is an amazing platform. And it's going to be such a huge tool for everyone.
Oh yeah,
and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
And I've already got to give credit to Remy to say thank you, because I did not know I could set my my Rebel up to do what you're doing with your camera right now.
I guess it's a good thing that I work at a camera store.
You have amazing video on yours. Like,
yes,
all of ours looks grainy and like garbage, and yours is just like, oh.
Now you just got to figure out how to screen capture to YouTube and bullshit.
Yours isn't grainy.
It looks great.
Yeah,
It's
if
not.
people could see this, they would be floored by like the professional quality of this video.
Yeah,
that
Remy
we're
Remy
doing
is
right
getting like Markiplier fucking stats on my fucking video feed here, guys. he did it too. He just looks at the camera and just goes to.
It's honestly like anyone can do this. It's literally it's a light that I got for $120.
Oh yeah,
Canadian maple
bucks?
leaves or
Yes,
like
yes,
bald
we're
eagle
ta- yeah,
dollars.
yeah, we're-
Looney.
Canadian, the North American peso, as I would say.
the hat of the United States, folks.
Yes, but
One nation under Canada, above Mexico.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's like just the light. I bought these lights off Amazon. The thing that's the difference is like the camera and the lens quality. But even then, like you say, you have like an old Canon like Rebel.
Yes.
All you need is like you can buy a 50mm 1.8. Lucas has that. No, I think you have that. Yeah. Oh, you have the same one I have. But you can get the 51.8, cheapest lens you can ever buy. It's like $129 for Canon. All you need is a cable and
a lot of funding. Dude,
5 American.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
I was gonna say we're on like let's see the financial status of Five Below and Dollar Tree.
Well, maybe I'll figure if I ever find a lens that's cheap, I'll send it to you.
I'm too poor for Canon.
He's like, I'll send you $13 Canadian.
I stick with Pentex and Vivitar.
I'll send you 8 maple leaves and a quarter beaver tooth.
And some
That
BC Light.
That is actually the technical name of our currency, so don't bad mouth it.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, what are you talking about? Hey, we want to go grab a Molson, go down to the boat, and then we're going to go jump in the lake because at least made the fucking playoffs. But
Hey, just keep your stick on the ice there. Hey, if you got duct tape, it'll fix it.
Sticks on the ice, pucks in deep.
Stop, Bears.
Wrong place.
Wrong place,
Not even
dude.
close.
You're close to
I
us.
don't care.
Oh, sweetheart.
Fucking embarrassing.
Oh my god!
Fucking embarrassing.
The look on this gentleman's face when he just goes monotonally. Oh, sweetheart.
That's the southern equivalent of bless your heart.
He just went Karen.
That's like as rude
No,
as a
he
Canadian
didn't.
can
He just
get, I
went
think.
Dolly Parton.
No, no. That's Canadian Karen. Right now, what I'm looking at is Canadian Karen. It's that sexy librarian.
Karen.
I'm
Oh,
channeling the front desk lady at your middle school that was very disappointed in you. For
No,
dumping
you're
yogurt in
channeling
Bethany's
channeling the front desk lady from Monsters Inc. right now.
Yeah.
Wazowski. Always.
Copyright infringement brought to you by.
oh God! Now we're gonna get a fucking cease and desist from Disney.
That's like a trophy, though.
Yeah, that's a trophy.
That's right next to. That's gonna go right next to the ESPN stop and cease
Yeah,
and
if
desist.
you make a bloop on Disney's map, you're like, you're somebody.
Well, technically, we are. Because we got that cease and desist order right before ESPN was bought by Disney.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
You get
And
one of
that's
those.
exactly the sound we got fucking hemmed on.
Yep.
Let's not talk about that. These motherfuckers own an entire zip code in Florida. They have
Yes.
their own fucking zip code.
That's kind of
Yes.
pretentious,
You guys-
isn't it?
It's,
You
it
guys-
is.
I can hide out in Canada. No extradition clause. You stay the fuck down there. I'll be fine.
right.
Keep
I
your
got
lawsuit
you.
there.
I was gonna say, you got two guys, well, a studio and another gentleman in this dais that lives in 3%er country. And Lucas is smiling. He knows what I'm talking about. It's like, hey, we know what militias are, motherfucker.
Why do you think I have guns,
Moses.
dude?
Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna stay up where I have no guns. I'm just gonna put that out there. You think I can run my mouth this way with if I was in a place where there was guns?
Well, you
No,
did
no
fine
one
on
was
Call of
listening to
Duty.
it. No, ask Lucas. I do terrible.
He does terrible.
So that's my thing. Where if you own a gun and you're in Canada, stay the hell away from me because I'm terrified of you. Because that's
And
what,
I'm
'cause
not
I
a
run my
bear.
mouth too much. No, everyone said, hey, I understand I talk a lot. That's why I'm good on podcasts. But also, a lot of people don't like me when I talk a lot because it just.
Why
So,
do you think I stay
away.
quiet?
Well, you didn't stay quiet this episode.
I kind of did.
And
Whoa.
agree to disagree.
It's because my wife wasn't here. That's why she was so silent.
No, I was silent because I'm an asshole.
So, guys, if you like what you're hearing and you're hearing what you like, share the fuck out of these links that we've provided you. Share the check out the links we got in the Discords. Also, share the links on your Facebook as well as the episode show. Just share this shit, guys. The better traffic we get, the more traffic we get, the more everyone gets. hooch-brand, fucking phenomenal fucking concepts as well as clothing line coming out. I personally am going to see when they can get Omar the tent maker to make me some clothes. I definitely will be rocking and repping as soon as I can. I don't even care if it's for... It's going to be pro bono, man. I don't give a shit.
I's a broke bitch.
What about a pro boner?
No. That's later, sweetheart.
Oh.
No, I mean the thing is I have the ability to pretty much print any time. Like
Yeah, no
I
worries.
can hand them a design and get it printed. It's a 2-week turnaround time as it currently stands.
Okay.
But we can definitely discuss numbers. You let me know the amount of shirts that we get. The more that we get, the less it costs.
Exactly.
Can you get tall sizes, like large talls,
Yes.
extra large talls?
Extra
I
large
have been
talls.
verified.
Extra large tall.
I have been verified. They
Large
have
tall.
the
Thank you.
ability to get up to a 8X right now
Okay.
with most of the merchandise.
I'm
that we
gonna
can
I'm gonna already say, hey, we're gonna reserve a quadruple X for the Grape Ape, definitely because he's part of the original 6. He's no longer available to come on shows on a regular basis, but he is still supporting. Yeah, he's waving high in the Discord video chat right now.
Absolutely. I mean, he's out there working hard right now, and I got a lot of appreciation for a guy who works his ass off to make a living. So he's definitely a good dude in my book.
Well, let's not give him too much credit. Let's not give him too much credit.
Don't
He's
pat
not-
his ego too much.
Maybe
Yeah.
it'll blow up the truck because his head explodes. I don't know.
Well, his head's
But,
big enough already. I've seen his helmet size.
Oh wow! All right.
Big head gang. Big head gang.
He's got even a bigger middle finger for you for that comment.
Well, this guy used to be
You haven't
350 pounds of fuck you up, so I give him more credit than that.
Hey, you know what? That's a guy I want on my side any day of the week. I need linebackers in my life for a reason.
You sure as fuck don't want him against you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, this guy literally is a cannonball on legs.
140 pounds soaking wet right now, so.
Oh, you're a
I
toothpick.
don't need a guy. Yeah. Hey, I'm not a weak toothpick though. That's
Well,
the best part. It takes a couple chews before you get me breaking.
See, I am.
Phrasing.
I'm a weak big man. I'm scared of anyone going to the bars and be like, you know what? I'm gonna take him. And I'm just like, nah, you're not proving shit with me.
You're like, I will lay in the fetal position and cry.
I was gonna say, go ahead and take me. I'm gonna take 2 steps that way out the door.
But yeah, I just wanted to say with the bigger sizes, it's an extra screen print cost for us, unfortunately, because you can't put a small graphic will do up to about like an XL.
Yeah.
And that's where you get way too tiny.
It's hard to switch the
so
factory settings to billboard settings, is what he's saying.
Right.
Not to be a
so
dick
just
about
be
it.
aware. Right. I'm not trying to be a dick. I will give you the best price possible because that's what we do around here. We're kind of like that no haggle pricing mentality where, like we got something for everybody. And we're not trying to take money out of your wallet. We would just want you to enjoy what you're wearing and feel comfortable.
And we got to feed our family at the same time.
Right, exactly. So we are excited about what we can do. Gary will definitely be talking over the next couple of days about what we can do.
Yep.
So that I can get in touch with my printer. But I will tell you, it's going to come out awesome. Like Lucas and I are now wearing the stuff, and I'll tell you, it's holding up great. Like the embroidery's holding up great. The screen print, I ran this through the wash, and like it got softer.
As long as it doesn't do what Johnny's shit did to ours.
How does it hold up to UV light?
Oh, good question.
He's a welder.
So I go into the Florida sun all the time with this hoodie.
So, like, what if you left it on the
and-
back decklet of your car for like a month? You think it'd still be black, or does it turn that turd brown?
Hey, hold on. That sunwash is a good fucking color.
Look at his shirt.
This is
one day.
One day as a welder, and it was nitrous black.
Yes, and it's.
I mean, I'm gonna.
Is that the shirt I just bought you?
Yes, one day at work.
Fuck.
I'm gonna tell you this. Like, I'm not gonna give it as a suggestion as a welding hoodie.
Well, I mean, all hoodies are welding hoodies at some point in their life.
Everything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
Here's the thing. Lucas, Remy, and I have talked about doing multiple lines for multiple different people. Oh, this is Kane.
Kane!
This is the guy. Actually, Kane is part of the Occult Entertainment podcast thing. So
okay, we're going to go in overtime. We're already in overtime. You want me to give him carte blanche?
Double overtime?
Yeah, give him carte blanche.
Okay, hold on.
Sir. I lost video.
I heard it before we continue.
You were just staring intently.
I was just going to say before we continue, Tripper, I will say...
he ran away.
I also work trade, and it's held up to sand pretty well. So
abrasion resistance is pretty well.
But I will say this, as far as like what we're going to be doing in the future, we are going to have like a workman's line, like coming out with clothing that can withstand like welding and can withstand construction and that type of work. Because that was a part of my life, and I know how hard it was to find affordable, practical clothing, for form and functionality. It's really hard, and then when you get into it, it's super fucking expensive. And why am I going to spend all this money to have something ruined in minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I cook through $50 pairs of pants like they're fucking water.
Dungarees can't bust them.
Kane,
you can.
Kane,
yeah, what's up?
Hey, so just tell them a little bit about yourself with the occult entertainment idea and where it kind of stemmed from.
Okay, what's up, guys? Nice to meet all of you. I'm Kane. I just joined the Discord. I was listening in on you guys.
My video isn't.
So, I would say it started, I was having a lot of depression issues lately. I had a really good job. I was making enough to support me and my fiance. We just moved into a new house. I've had an interesting situations. It's a little long to explain, but I've been through a lot. I'm 22 years old, and I already have a 2-story house, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it's a lot of responsibility, right, for a 22-year-old, especially in 2021 with COVID.
Oh yeah.
I got sick. I had some kind of autoimmune issues and some stomach issues, and I was really sick back in December. It made me lose my job that really started paying the bills that I had just gotten. Well, I have been looking for a job since, and my depression was really kicking my butt. And there was one day where I broke down in the shower and was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I had talked to Andy 2 times. I met him at my band practice, and we kind of hit it off. I didn't talk to him too much that day, but I could just tell he was a genuine person. And so my friend called him one night when I was like super plaster drunk. I was super emotional wreck, talking to Andy and some things that he was going through and that I found out about. Well, Andy and I exchanged contact information, and we just started playing games together. One day, I guess, it popped in my head that I wanted to do some content creating stuff. I don't want to be a one-track content creator. I want us to have a multifaceted, platform where it can be funny, silly videos one day. I want it to all have a theme and not jump all over the place, but, we can be more silly one day and very serious the next.
Well, you're on the right show for that.
Yeah, but overall, I wanted something that was, tangible, something that younger viewers can enjoy and watch, and people will realize that they're not alone, and people who play games and people who look like they're always having fun sometimes really aren't having fun. But that's okay, because these things really help you get through the hard times. Like just playing video games with Andy, like it was a distraction at first, but then it was like, it kind of became a coping mechanism where it's like, okay, I can hop on a game, blow some steam for like 10 minutes, and then get back to what I was doing.
Oh yeah, and we all have that kind of coping mechanism. Sorry. Tripper's got his shit boxes. Cody's got Tripper.
He's not lying.
And I hate to say it, I have Bad Habits Network and the podcast and shit like that. And
yeah, that's mine too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay, did not know. Thank you for that stunning accolade. And then I got Mark to talk to on while he's on the road and shit like that. What are you talking about, Mark? You're giving me that fucking high sign. Bring it up. One word.
Bowling.
Some people have everything. I'm playing fucking charades with a video chat listener right now, folks. Oh,
so,
like
cool
no, hold on. I gotta give some carte blanche to this handsome young man.
Yeah, man.
Wow, Zowie. He's got some emo hotness to him.
He's got his flag centered, Gary. You're gonna have to step your game up.
He is flexing that doo-wop hair. I love it.
Dude, he's like the new Jerry Lee Lewis of the young generation. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let's not fuck our cousins too soon.
Dude, we gotta step our chair game up.
Your what game?
Our chair game. All these guys got like sweet ass gaming
They
chairs
have gaming
that are probably
chairs,
really
yeah.
comfy and shit. We're sitting on rocks.
Right, look, I'm gonna get the 4-man solution. Go to Staples. It's $120.
That's a lot of money
Dude,
for
I
a
could buy a
fucking
car
chair.
for that.
It's true. But my fiance just got one that was $400, and I was like, oh my god! But it's so nice. Like, it's so nice. It like mine's nice and it has this. It's kind of cushiony. But
Jesus Christ! It's got a pillow.
It's got a 5-point harness.
And then I got one down in my lower back.
Lucas is looking at his chair, going, "Mine doesn't have a pillow."
It did. I just don't know where it is.
I shot it.
My chair has a pillow.
Yeah, here right now.
There you go. So, Kane, I do apologize, Kane. I do and will invite you on more episodes in the future. I do apologize, Andy. We have to fucking wrap this up, man.
Yeah, I gotta be up at 2 a.m.
Hey, thank you for having Kane on. You know, it's
thanks, guys.
Bring him on right at the end, and it was like a good closing segment. So, thank you guys so much for having us tonight.
Kane, real quick,
do more of these as always.
What's your future podcast endeavor going to be called?
Occult Entertainment.
Okay, and where can we find that? Is it Apple?
So I know the plan's going to be to go on all major platforms. We're going to have some YouTube content, some videos, kind of like what we're doing here.
Excellent.
Some edited podcasts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we'll also be having some, game clips and a little bit of everything. So.
Okay. Remy, on social media, where can we find you, bud?
At Remy Zanato on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch at RemRover. So
Rem Rover, Remy, come up.
And
you don't know how many times my friends say that on games.
I can imagine.
Obscene.
Lucas, your turn. Where can we find you?
You can find me. On Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
TikTok.
Everything as Tinkering Rabbit. And my band, obviously, Fire Said the Albatross.
Gotcha. Andy, yourself?
All right, so I'm going to start with, I just changed my personal Instagram page name so that if you're looking for, I can't remember it was In Dying Andy, I think, was the last one I just had. I actually just changed my page name to the @the_Sapinator. It was just appropriate. The wife came up with the name, and I fucking love it.
Listen to me now and hear me later. You will be now known as the Sapinator. God damn it!
There we go. I love it. So you can find my personal page. That's going to be more for, like just the little happenings with like my dogs and, like what's going on in my daily life. If you want to find out what's going on with our company right now, the best way to get a hold of us is on Facebook at hooch-brand. All you got to do is type it in. You're going to see this Thrive or Die logo with a maroon background. And then you can find us on Instagram at hooch lifestyle. You guys should start following a couple pages at hooch-brand. I want to start getting some numbers on that page so that when we come up with the release date, we can post that on that page and get some more traction. And then also there will be a street team in the making for people who are going to be like representatives and like marketing ambassadors for the company that we are going to have a little perk program for. So we'll release that at a further date. And then the GoFundMe is in the chat already. If you guys feel like donating, please, feel free to.
Don't fucking feel free to donate. Fucking donate. It's good quality shit for good quality prices. Omar the Tent Maker is working hard for your fat ass to have a Thrive or Die fucking t-shirt. Get that shit. Fucking go there and donate. You don't need to feel free. You need to feel obligated to give these motherfuckers carte blanche and your hard-earned ducats. Fuck your couch, get off your ass, and donate. Be buying, motherfuckers. Closers make coffee. I don't fucking know the comment.
Be good
I don't
consumers.
Care. Be good consumers. You consume. Listen to Hypnotoad.
Thank you, Gary. You are the first official ambassador of Hooch. I like your attitude.
You are the wrong person to give me that title.
Fuck you, buy this shit.
Buy shit. Buy shit. I'll get red in the fucking skull if I have to. Too late.
When your mom's sleeping, go take $20 or $30 out of purse. Order that shit up.
Kids, get out of your blanket fort and go to mommy's purse.
Grab her credit card.
Grab the black one.
Anyways, Gary,
yes,
again, thank you for running the show as late as you guys have. It's been an amazing time as usual.
No worries.
And I'm looking forward to more like this.
Tripper can be found on Facebook Marketplace.
Occasionally Craigslist if I'm banned on Facebook.
Hawking, just scoping your fucking shit boxes.
Just hustling.
Cody, good luck finding her.
He's got an OnlyFans at onlyfans.com blast my shit box.
Gary Hammer, I am Gary the Hammer on Instagram, Gary Destruction on the Snapchat. Don't ask. You
can absolutely find me in the Shots page.
You can find me on the fucking, what is that thing called? The TikToks?
The TikToks. I'm on the TikToks.
Fucking boomer.
I have never TikToked.
You're on TikTok.
I'm on the TikToks, but not me personally.
Check our shit out. Our secret group is called Shots from the Balcony for obviously good reasons, not bad.
Snitches get stitches.
Bitch, yes.
Check out Bad Habits Network. Share the fuck out of the Spreaker chat, guys. The only way we can help you is by helping us. Share the virus. Spread it. Not like the COVID. Wear a mask, but fucking spread the bad habits.
Just put a fucking condom on.
Yes, because common sense isn't so common. We need to stop that. Put a condom on.
By the way, Gary, my gift to you is when we start doing the Occult Entertainment podcast. My wife came up with a very clever name for a segment that I want to give you, which is called the Ham Jam.
Oh my fucking God.
It's got to be red.
Yeah, Mark.
Strawberry colored.
I was gonna. Damn it! Fuck you and your peanut butter jelly references. Oh, I was
jelly time.
Stop!
I smell trauma.
Oh, there is some good trauma, and I'll share that story with you on another date. Guys, check our back catalogs because I know it's still up on that show.
Oh yeah.
And our back page.
Yes, backpage.com. So, guys, this is the part where we mute everyone, especially with everyone who has absolutely zero fucks to give.
Fuck.
I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have runneth dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give, though more fucks I've tried to get. I'm over my fuck budget and I'm now in fucking debt.